What's happening, people? Blessings to everybody on this Monday. So, today is the 27th of October, and we're upcoming with the Sergey Kovalev versus Canelo fight. Looking forward to that. I don't know where I put my other phone. Oh, there it is. So, let me talk about the predictions. I think I said this already, but yet I'm going to do the predictions again for these fights. So what I'm gonna do is talk to you guys about that. The dog just started barking because I started talking. Sometimes you wonder what the heck is going on in this world. Got this little trusty little iPhone 4. Okay, so what's up there? All right, so let's talk about predictions for fights. So we want to start off with. Come on, dog, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. All right, we got Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Sergey Kovalev. Like I said before, I think this fight is not going the distance. I think that Saul Canelo Alvarez will stop Sergey Kovalev. I'm saying within 8 rounds. Okay. Um, and the only reason is if it looked like a duck, if it walked like a duck, it's a duck. Okay. And you don't overthink this fight. As much as people try to make it sound like Kovalev has a chance and stuff in this fight, he really don't. Okay. Uh, what you'll find out is that when you think about it, uh, Canelo, man, shut up, dog. Okay, so what could be going on? Why is that dog barking like that? He gotta be barking for a reason. Hold on a second, people. I'm gonna come back right back to this video. That dog is barking. Buddy, what's up, buddy? Something's going on. What's going on, buddy? Dogs don't bark like that for no reason. You know, dogs don't bark like that for no reason. I was a little bit annoyed, but I'm wondering what happened. I'm not too sure what happened. Today was a rainy day. Anyways, let me get into it. I'm gonna sit down in the chair for a minute. All right. So, okay, what did I do with the other phone? Oh, there it is. Cool. Yeah. See, the dog's still barking. That's interesting. What time is it? 7. Yeah. So, yeah. Let me get back to this. So, Canelo versus Sergey Kovalev. I think that Canelo will stop Sergey Kovalev. All right. Early on today, I believe G Funky had his little podcast thing going on. And he was talking about Canelo ain't stopped nobody, and Kovalev hasn't been stopped by Andre Ward. I think a lot of these guys, they're ignoring things. They're just ignoring what has happened to Sergey Kovalev in the last. Kovalev has had, since the Ward fight, the second one, he's had 3 fights. First one was with Elita Alvarez. He was outboxing Elita Alvarez. Alvarez started working his body. Police cars coming through. Yeah, there's something going on in this area. I can tell you that. I'm not too sure what's happening, but a police car just passed by and just bleeped this horn. That's why the dog's barking. It seems as though the police chasing down somebody. That's what I suspect. The dog wouldn't be barking like that for no reason. Something's going down. We're gonna find out in time. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So, yeah. So he had 3 fights since the Ward fight. Okay. He was beating Elita Alvarez, but Elita Alvarez kept on working his body. And when he got dropped the first time, he got dropped off of 2 body shots, and they came over the top of the head. Elita Alvarez. And again, just go watch the fight and you'll see for yourself. The second knockdown was the same thing. Elite Alvarez was working the body, and he came over the top. I think he threw a left hook to the body or something. Can't remember, a left hook to the head or something. Put him down. That was that. Okay. So it's definitely he's been stopped to the body. Well, not to the body, but taken out to the top. But it's almost the same thing with Andre Ward. When you look at lock my doors, all my doors are locked. All my doors are locked, bro. Um, but it's been quiet also in the neighborhood, so it's very possible someone. See, we got the season where people are partying and feting, and so there are a lot of desperate people out here looking to find targets. So you have to be careful out here. Yeah. Back to what I was saying. So that you know, this guy's been hit to the body a number of times, and every time he's been hit to the body, he reacts to it. Okay. Then we had the Anthony Yard fight in which Anthony Yard went to the body. He started going to the body somewhere around the 5th, 6th round, and you know his trainer said he's done, and then he went in to stop him in the 8th, and Yard used all his energy trying to stop him in the 8th. Could have paced it a little bit better, but it is what it is. Elite Alvarez stopped him. Same sort of thing, going to the body, and stopped him somewhere around 7th, 8th round. So that's why I don't think that Kovalev will go past 8, because I do believe that somewhere around the 6th, 7th, and 8th rounds, this is when the effect of body punching start to take their toll on him. And before you say boo, he's gone. And as Andre Ward said, Kovalev will go as far as you let him. So if you put your foot on the gas with Kovalev and you getting him out of there, you better keep your foot on the gas. Ward said that he thought that Yard took his foot off the gas. He didn't have no more gas. That's what happened. He ran out of gas. So, anyways, if it looked like a duck, if it seems like a duck, because it is a duck, okay? After the knockout loss to Andre Ward, Sergey Kovalev came back and won the WBO title, which was great for him. After that, it's actually 4 fights he had after Ward. After he won that title, he lost it to Elite Alvarez, right? Lost it to Elite Alvarez. Then he came back and won the title against Elite Alvarez. Boxed brilliantly. Elite couldn't get on the inside. Elite Alvarez is not known as an inside fighter, mind you. He's a good all-around boxer, but he's not an inside fighter. Anthony Yard is not an inside fighter. In fact, in the commentary, Andrew Wood was saying Anthony Yard's not an inside fighter. But these guys had success against Kovalev, okay? Andre Ward is sort of an inside fighter. He fights some of his fights on the inside, but he's not a specialist inside fighter. Canelo is a specialist inside fighter. Canelo, that's what he do. He gets to the inside. A lot of people are saying that Kovalev's jab is going to keep Canelo on the outside. But once again, I'm going to say this again to each and every one of these guys. All the guys with great jabs, including Danny Jacobs, who, like I said before, has the same record as Kovalev, has the same dimensions as Kovalev. In fact, he's a little bit taller than Kovalev. He's same reach and everything. Canelo fought him, and he couldn't touch Canelo. And Danny Jacobs has an excellent jab, and he can do it in both the orthodox and the southpaw stance. Change levels, all that stuff. If Canelo had an easy time with Danny Jacobs and beat him, he's going to get to the inside of Danny Jacobs. He's going to get to the inside of Kovalev. He's going to do that. Not if, but it's when. Now, the thing with a lot of people is they're talking about Kovalev's power and all this stuff. And, they say, when has Canelo knocked out somebody? He doesn't have power to knock out anyone. Listen, the fighters Canelo been fighting are top-tier guys. Okay? Top-tier guys who don't have vulnerabilities like Kovalev has. All right? So when you're talking about why I predict a knockout in this fight, I've never predicted knockouts for Canelo in any fight. I've never predicted Canelo going to knock out anybody. I thought in the second Triple G fight he would knock him out, but he couldn't knock out Triple G. Triple G's never been known as a soft guy to anything. He's not been soft to the body, nothing. Triple G's a tough guy. We all know this. Kovalev's not a tough guy. He's not strong like Triple G. He's not. John David Jackson, his trainer, said Kovalev's not strong. He's powerful, but he's not strong. Okay? Andre Ward said Kovalev soft to the body. John David Jackson said Kovalev soft to the body. There's no mystery to that. Abel Sanchez said Triple G stopped Kovalev. He trained Kovalev. He trained Triple G. All right. Um, Buddy McGirt acknowledged that Kovalev gets hurt to the body. He tried to make it generic by saying, who likes getting hit to the body? It's not whether you like getting hit to the body. Obviously, nobody likes getting hit to the body. It's how he reacts to it that we all see. And Andre Ward in the fight against Anthony Yard saw the obvious. Now, the people come with the argument that, well, Kovalev Canelo has never knocked out nobody. He ain't got the power to knock out Kovalev. First of all, it don't take but a certain set of pounds of pressure, okay, to knock out a person. All right? You get a certain amount of pounds of pressure to the chin, you're going to knock out. Okay? Now, the reason why a lot of these top tier fighters don't get knocked out when they look like they're getting hit flush is because they ride the punch some. Okay? At the elite level, guys who you call have great chins know how to ride punches. They don't take flush punches. Okay? They still ride the punch. Their head goes back. Okay? So that's something you guys need to know. Triple G does it. Canelo does it. Okay? You can't take a punch full-fledged. It's going to jar your brain, and your body's metabolism is going to shut everything down. So you get knocked out. Similarly to the body, there's a certain amount of pounds of pressure you need to break your rib cage, to get to your tissues, to cause damage to your liver, your spleen, your body, so you piss blood. There's a certain amount of pounds of pressure that will put a person down. It's just what it is. But if you protect your body properly, if you have proper defense, that wouldn't happen. What a lot of people don't understand, and I try to break it down to people because a lot of people don't know shit about boxing, it's the placement of the punch. And you hear the boxer say it over and over. He placed that punch perfectly. It's the placement of the punch that causes guys to get stopped to the body. Oscar De La Hoya against Bernard Hopkins. Hopkins is not known as a power puncher. Oscar said he placed the punch so perfectly, and the timing at which he placed the punch when I was throwing a punch is what got me down. Oscar's not a guy that gets stopped. In fact, in his entire career, he only got stopped twice. Always been known as a tough fighter. So when Oscar got stopped by Bernard Hopkins, it wasn't because Bernard Hopkins was a bigger fighter. It's because technically he placed that punch so well. I'm going to give you another example. Louis Collazo against Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman showed vulnerability to the body. Louis Collazo ain't a big welterweight. Right? Keith Thurman's a bigger welterweight than Louis Collazo. But he placed the punch so perfectly. When Keith Thurman got hit by that punch, he started moving all around the ring because he was badly hurt. Okay? Keith Thurman's vulnerable to the body. You don't got to be no fucking power puncher to hit Keith Thurman to hurt him to the body. If he doesn't protect his body properly, he's going to get hit with a perfectly placed punch. Manny Pacquiao was a much smaller guy than Keith Thurman. Hurt him to the body in round 10. So a lot of people just don't get it. If it looks like a duck, and it moves like a duck, and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. The first impression we had of this fight is exactly what it is. Don't let anybody else cloud your judgment, make you think that Kovalev got some chance in this fight to win it, and that he's going to actually not get stopped. This fight is going to end one way and one way only. Canelo can't think about that in his mind. He has to prepare for the best Sergey Kovalev and a guy that will go 12 rounds with him. But as for us as fans, we know what it is. We saw what it is. We saw the Anthony Yard fight. We saw the Alida Alvarez fight. We saw the 2 Andre Ward fights. What brought Andre Ward back into the fight in the first fight was digging to the body, staying close to Kovalev. Okay? What got Alida Alvarez the victory over Kovalev the first time was because he got within range of Kovalev to be able to trade with him and land body punches. What got Anthony Yard, got Kovalev in problems, even though Kovalev was boxing so well in the fight, was because Anthony Yard started bobbing and weaving and going to the body. He took some punishment, but he bobbed and weaved and he got to the body. Okay, and almost got Kovalev out of there, according to Andre Ward. So, if it looked like a duck and it sounded like a duck, it's a duck. Okay? I've told people Canelo can go almost to any weight class and fight because he's got defense. The thing that makes a difference in fights is defense. Okay? Not to mention, there are a lot of boxers who can fight off the ropes. So, in terms of my prediction for this fight, Canelo's going to stop Kovalev. That is inevitable. That is something that I'm 100% sure will happen. And there's just certain fights and certain picks that I'm confident going into them that it's going to happen the way how I say. And I think there are a lot of other people who are looking at that. Yes, there are other variables and so on, but people are counting on Canelo slowing down. They're counting on Canelo having too much weight to be lethargic. They're counting on all kinds of variables with Canelo, trying to avoid the obvious. The obvious is that Canelo is going to get on the inside of Kovalev and is going to be landing body punches. And the accumulation of punishment is going to stop Kovalev. Okay? He's going to look great initially. Y'all gonna think I don't know what they're talking about. Kovalev is beating up Canelo or whatever. You're gonna think so. Until Canelo gets to the inside. And then it's gonna be curtains. Okay? I know you guys don't believe this, some of y'all. So you have to see it for yourself. You will see. Let me go to the next set of predictions because I want to talk about legendary fights. And a lot of you guys still got the misunderstanding. You think about reach, you think about height, you think about size, you think about power. You do not really think about boxing. All right, Canelo has proven himself time and time again. He showed you height, reach, size don't mean shit. We just recently saw Regis Prograis versus Josh Taylor, and we realized Taylor's reach, his height, and his size didn't mean shit against Regis Prograis, who I thought won the fight. But even if you guys thought it was close or you thought Taylor nicked it, it was competitive, which means it ain't supposed to be competitive. If the guy's got height, size, reach, okay, it's not supposed to be competitive according to you guys. And Prograis easily got past all of that. In fact, he was out jabbing, in my opinion, and outlanding his jab on Josh Taylor, in my opinion. Okay, let's keep it moving. So, that's the prediction for that fight. Ryan Garcia versus Romero Duno. I've watched a couple of Ryan Garcia fights, and I realize how fast he is with his hands, first of all. Duno going to get hit upside the head from the get-go. So there's not a question of whether Duno will get hit by Ryan Garcia. The question is, can he take that punishment and come in and dish out his punishment? So the question is, Ryan Garcia is very fast. He's very quick. He catches guys when they least expect it. So his speed is his power. The question is, will he be strong enough to handle a Duno who can handle his power, it's not going nowhere, and is still pressuring him? That's going to be the question. And Duno, of course, got some skill other than just pressuring and taking punches. So that would be the question to answer. I'm going to favor Ryan Garcia to win the fight. I think that he probably has progressed to a level where he can handle Duno. Duno has one solitary loss to his record. It's a Filipino fighter, and that came early in his career, where he was beaten by a guy called Mikhail Alexeyev. Now, I have not been able to see that fight. I would like to go watch it. This was a ways back, but I want to see what strategy Alexeyev had against Duno. It doesn't mean that Duno hasn't learned from that experience, and probably that strategy, whatever Alexeyev had, he wouldn't overcome it. But the question is, what was the style he was facing, and what was the guy doing, and what does that mean for Ryan Garcia? So those are the questions that I would like to see with Duno. But he's a solid fighter, and so we'll see how Ryan Garcia responds to him. I actually wanted to see Ryan Garcia versus the guy that he was supposed to face, who was caught up on charges or something and couldn't get the fight. That's the fight I actually want to see, because he actually fought somebody of note, Hank Lundy. So Ryan Garcia got a lot of potential, got a lot of promise, and so we'll see what happens with him. I was hearing a lot of talk about Regis Prograis and Terrence Crawford, right? I think that Terrence Crawford beats Regis Prograis for starters, but I think that Regis Prograis' style is an interesting one in that Terrence gonna have some difficulty hitting Regis Prograis at certain points in time, and then other times he gonna catch to the head, especially. He gonna get hit up beside his head. Josh Taylor's a hard puncher, no doubt about that. So is Regis Prograis. But I found that Regis Prograis, he did not, he don't defend his head all the time very well. Intangible Boxing says Kovalev will take Ivan Drago's steroids and kill Canelo Alvarez in the ring. Steroids ain't gonna help him to the body though. It's not gonna help him to the body. He can take as much steroids as he wants. I'd be surprised he was taking steroids against the Andre Ward fight. Andre Ward still ripped him up. You know. There's another thing they're talking about how Canelo's putting on muscle and all this stuff. I think Adrian Broner gives some of them 140 guys a run for their money. I think Adrian Broner gives some of them a run for his money because he's much crisper, much cleaner as far as high weight classes. I think Broner can handle them guys too, not just Terrence Crawford. I was saying that. What was I saying? Yeah, Kovalev can take how much steroids he wants, man. It's not gonna help him. Not in this fight. You know, the reason why, you know, the reason why in boxing you have to build a proper foundation. Somebody just burst firecracker, or was that a gunshot? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The reason why, I think today was a holiday actually. Anyway, I'm going back. I think I may have to go to the store. Let me try and wrap this up real quick. The reason why you have to set a proper foundation in boxing, you got to do the right things, and this is where Errol Spence is falling short of. He drinking. It seems as though he drinks too much. That's why he got to deal with. And Terrence Crawford's Bomac was saying something that's very true. Terrence Crawford, he ain't gonna lose to no damn drunk, you know. Errol, as much as he trained real hard and everything, that's gonna come back and tax him. And many a great fighter has been taxed by that shit. You always treat your body like a temple. Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter, they treat their body proper, you know. That's why I think a lot of boxers think Terrence gonna wash Errol Spence when he faces him. And I'm beginning to be persuaded about that now, seeing that Terrence doesn't seem to be that small as I thought he was. I think he's grown into the division. I just wish for him to face better competition. But other than that, I think Terrence doing the right things. You know what I'm saying? So, are you ready to hop on the Crawford wagon yet? No, it's not about hopping on a Crawford wagon. Again, I'm not one of those guys like that. I'm not hopping on wagons and all that bullshit. I'm just saying what I evaluate from what now I know, right? Because you can't be mistreating your body. A lot of good boxers and a lot of great boxers, that's what they did. And they run their bodies down. You know, that's why when Floyd said he the best ever, I'm going to talk about Floyd Mayweather all the time. I'm going to talk about him some more in a minute, too. When Floyd Mayweather said he's the best ever, okay, this is one of the reasons. He took care of his body properly. He treated his body right. He didn't put, you know, garbage into his body. You know what I'm saying? You know, Duran was a great fighter, but the motherfucker never controlled his weight. You know, he had most of his camp was about weight loss, right? He could have probably been a greater fighter than he was, but motherfucker just didn't control his weight. Okay, that's how the second Ray Leonard versus Duran fight went, you know, because motherfucker didn't control his weight. In fact, he got knocked out by Thomas Hearns because that motherfucker was just doing weight camp. You know, he dropped down so much weight, you know, he wasn't strong enough, he wasn't quick enough as he needed to be in the Thomas Hearns fight. And he needed speed. Hearns was a quick dude. So anyway, he was a hell of a fighter, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't disciplined. You have to discipline yourself. You have to commit yourself to the sport of boxing. That's why he fought so frequently at the lower weight classes. But And he wasn't the fastest dude in the world. People talk about he was quick at lightweight. He wasn't that quick. Okay, he wasn't that quick. You know, he set traps and shit and get on the inside and rough you out. You know, he do like what Josh Taylor be doing. He rough you up on the inside, but he wasn't that quick. It's tenacious, but he wasn't that quick. Um. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So yeah, when it comes to Duno, I'm gonna pick Ryan Garcia. That's gonna be my pick. But the question, the challenge he'll have to deal with is a Duno that's determined, a Duno who can take his punch, a Duno who is going to use some strategy, some skill to get his game plan implemented. Okay. The guy Ryan Garcia was supposed to face, I forgot what his name is, who beat Hank Lundy. I want to see that fight with him and that dude, but I guess this Duno level is the level that guy might be been at. So we'll see. I don't know. Let me see anybody else on this card. There's going to be the debuting of Evander Holyfield's son, I do believe. His debut will be on the undercard of Canelo versus Kovalev. I heard Kathy Duva talking about it. Evan Holyfield, and we've seen Evander. Talking about his son a lot, and he is at what weight class? I'm trying to figure out what weight class he's at. And Box Record's not giving me that information. Yeah. Actually, intangible boxing, as you said, you're rooting for Canelo, but you think it'd be better for boxing if Kovalev wins. Actually, I've actually been going through, looking at what Buddy McGirt has been saying and trying to throw in little tips on how Kovalev could possibly win the fight. So I've been throwing in little tips and things from what I've seen from Kovalev shadow boxing to, to Kovalev being, little things I've been trying to throw in there for Buddy McGirt, because once again, you can't teach new things to a fighter. You have to let them use things that they already been using. You say use this a little bit more, use that a little bit more. Buddy's trying to adjust Kovalev's, like for instance, his stance a little bit. You don't want to teach him too much stuff, because a lot of stuff got to go into muscle memory. You know what I'm saying? So whatever he's been doing before, you just want to make sure he does that, but you want to do certain things at certain times and that kind of thing. You don't want to teach him new things, because you can't teach him new things. Not at this stage in the game. And Andrew Ward is right. You can't teach Kovalev new things at this stage in the game. He got to be Kovalev. He got to bring back the crusher, because this guy's smaller than you. You got to teach him a lesson. So you got to be the crusher. You got to be aggressive. You got to be very, very, very aggressive with your movements. That's the best chance he got. What I mean by aggressive, I mean you got to go like the crusher for KO. You're still boxing, but you got to put some steam behind those punches. Buddy's trying to get him to just box. You can't just box against Canelo. You got to put some animosity behind his shots. You got to try and get him in trouble. So the crusher has to come back. And the way our Kovalev can look at it is, this guy don't belong in my weight class, first of all. And two, I'm going to box him. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to box him. I'm going to stay behind my boxing. But I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive. I'm going to try and press him more early on. I'm going to let him know. I want him to respect my power. I want him to respect me, so he'll stay in range. That kind of stuff. Because they're trying to get Canelo to feel uncomfortable. Anything he tries to do, he must realize he can't succeed. He must not be able to get into the body. And they're going to target the body, jab to the body, jab to the chest. They're going to try and throw that lead right to the body. They're going to try and, so, mid-range, they're going to try and counter him in mid-range. If he comes with certain things, they're going to try and counter him, that kind of thing. Buddy McGirt mentioned Antonio Tarver versus Roy Jones Jr. Of course, Roy Jones Jr. was an outboxer. Antonio Tarver could fight inside, outside, was a great defensive fighter. But nonetheless, Tarver, again, tried to keep Roy behind his jab, try to bring the heat on Roy, kind of pressured Roy. So Roy had to go to the ropes, and once he got him to the ropes, he'd do his thing. Kovalev going to have to do the same thing with Canelo, That's his best bet. He got to put Canelo under pressure early. He got to be the crusher early. He got to throw his power punches. You're going to have to throw that right. He didn't throw the right against Anthony Yard. I understand because he could get countered with the left hook. But he's going to have to throw that right in this fight. He's going to have to make Canelo respect him. And fast and early. Like he did with Alida Alvarez. But he got to put some more venom behind it. Because Canelo, if you don't put venom behind Canelo, Canelo's going to get on the inside. He's going to get in the pocket. He's going to get in the pocket. All right? I guarantee you Canelo will get in the pocket. So Kovalev has to put some heat behind some of his punches. He's got to get Canelo thinking twice about going into the pocket. You have to be first. He has to be first, and he has to establish range. That's the only way he's gonna do it. Anyway, Kovalev would probably be much more open to face the top guys rather than Canelo. I don't know. See, I can't really say. If Canelo beats Kovalev, or when he does, let me say when, not if. When he beats Kovalev, we don't know if he'll stay at 175. We don't know if he'll go down to 168. I doubt he's going to go back down to 160. That's a big weight loss. And the fact that he don't have to lose weight, and then he realizes, man, I don't have to lose weight. I could just stay at 175. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be a small 175, but, he fought somebody at 168, Rocky Fielding. And the two fights that prepared Canelo for Kovalev, Rocky Fielding, who does not protect his body well, and Danny Jacobs, that combination is Sergey Kovalev. Actually, it's more than Sergey Kovalev. Kovalev don't protect his body well, but he's a good boxer like Danny Jacobs is. I think Danny Jacobs is a better boxer than Kovalev and can do more, but he's a better boxer than Danny Jacobs is. Or he's a boxer like Danny Jacobs. So I feel that combination is perfect for Canelo. That prepared him for Kovalev pretty much. Because Jacobs is the dimensions of Kovalev. He's, got skills like Kovalev. He's slicker than Kovalev is. And then on top of that, he fought Rocky Fielding, who's tall like Kovalev. Again, similar dimensions. Yeah, he's many tiers lower. But he has the same susceptibility like Kovalev for body punching. The sad thing about this fight is the amount of punishment that Kovalev going to take from Canelo, once Canelo gets to the inside, is going to be legendary. And he got too much heart to just go down, so he going to stay for a while and take some really nasty shots before Canelo gets him out of there. So it is what it is. When it gets ugly, it's going to get ugly. As to Canelo, I don't know. Like I said before, I don't know if Canelo is going to stay at 175. He might face Dimitri Bivol at 175. There's so much 175 pounders for Canelo to face. There's Badu Jack. There's, oh my God, Marcus Brown. Dimitri Bivol. He may have to defend his title afterwards against whoever the next contender is. It might be Anthony Yard. Might be Canelo versus Anthony Yard. That's some crazy shit right there. Just thinking about that stuff, I think more than likely he'll go back down to 168. He might face Billy Joe Saunders, or he might face Danny Jacobs again. There's Chris Eubank Jr. These divisions are so fucking stacked now that after Canelo's finished with Kovalev, that's another thing. I'm going to get to some other stuff, but yeah, Canelo reminds me of James Toney to some degree because he can stand right in front of you in the pocket and you just can't touch him. You can't fucking touch him. You can't touch him. If he don't want to be touched, Triple G was catching hell to get this guy. Triple G looked like an ass in that fight with Canelo. The first fight, you couldn't touch him. He was against the ropes and you couldn't touch him. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. And that's the kind of defense this boy have. And there are very few fighters that can fight off the ropes, like how Canelo and Floyd could do it. The only other guy I know is Pernell Whitaker. Not even Shakur Stevenson. He's good. You know who else? Tevin Farmer to some degree. Not as good as Canelo, because Canelo stays ultra calm. Floyd stays ultra calm. Pernell Whitaker used to be so calm, he was flashy with it. He was fucking flashy with it. He was so confident and calm. He would just be dipping. That motherfucker be dipping and squatting and rolling like a motherfucker. You make it look fancy, and then you come out the corner and do a dance on your ass. Man, Porter was sweet to watch for real. He was really sweet to watch for real. But I mean, talk about entertaining, you know. But yeah, these guys are special because they can stay really composed and calm under pressure. And it takes a certain man. I can't tell you how difficult it is to fight off the corner and off the ropes and just stay that calm and just live off the ropes. Like you could just stay there forever. If I wanted to, I could just fight off the ropes forever. You know what I'm saying? You throw off your load, I hit you, I counter punch you, and then if I want to, I walk around the ring. I'll just be watching you in your face. That's some crazy ass shit. I mean, Shakur Stevenson, when I saw him over the weekend, he was basic in that he was basically doing the basic boxing. What I mean by basic, he wasn't basic. Don't get me wrong. What I mean is he was doing everything like how you're supposed to do it in boxing, right? So mostly he was throwing lead lefts to the body. Wasn't really throwing lead lefts to the head. That was his basic offensive weapon. And then he was basically using his footwork mostly. He stayed on the inside a little bit, fought him on the inside a little bit, fought in the corners a little bit. Sometimes got tied up in the corner, got some shots in on him, but he was still basic. He didn't really vary his offense. There was nothing creative about it. There was nothing really creative about his defense either. He was mostly using footwork. So he just did the same thing over and over for 12 rounds. But what I would say, though, is he looked stronger. He looked bigger. But anyway, so with the Duno fight, that's what I got. Evander Holyfield, he will be debuting against Nick Weinstead. I don't know what Nick Weinstead. I haven't seen Evander Holyfield, so I'm just gonna go with the name because of his father. Hope for his debut to be successful, and I'm gonna rock with Evander Holyfield. So my picks: Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Sergey Kovalev. I got Saul stopping Sergey within 8. I think that Canelo's got so many options out there. We'll see what he'll pick afterwards. I don't think he's gonna go down to 160 anymore. He's saying he's not sure what he's going to do next after this. I got Ryan Garcia beating Romero Duno in an interesting fight where we'll see how Garcia does against the challenge of a guy who could take his punch. And then Evan Holyfield, Evander's son, Evan Holyfield, he will be facing Nick Weinstead. I'm going to pick Evander Holyfield's son, Evan, and see how he does, all right? So those are my picks there. There's still more. There's more fights coming up, so let me talk about those. Katie Taylor will be fighting Saturday the 2nd against Christina Linartado. Christina Linartado is a super lightweight champion, so Katie Taylor's moving up to super lightweight. She is I'm going to tell you just now what she is. She's from the Dominican Republic. She's the WBO female super lightweight champion. She won that title against Candy Wyatt, knocking her out, and she defended it successfully against Deanna Hobbs. So Katie Taylor stepping up. Her debut fight at super lightweight is going to be against Christina Linartado. I think she's French, but she's from the Dominican Republic. It's a French name. She right now lives in Greece. Man, that's a big step up. That's a bigger girl. I have not seen her style, so I can't tell you really. I can't really give my prediction for this fight, but it's a hell of a fight. I thought that Katie Taylor got the nod against her last opponent. Katie Taylor's last opponent being Pursoon. I thought Pursoon won that fight. I thought she was going to stop Katie Taylor. That fight went a little longer. Delphine Pursoon. Of course, she was able to unify the lightweight division. She did not defend once she became undisputed. But so she's moved up now to super lightweight to try and conquer that division. Bigger, stronger girls. I don't know, man. There's a blueprint out there on how to beat her. Of course, she also faced Jessica McCaskill. Jessica McCaskill gave her a run for her money, but I thought Katie Taylor outboxed her. She had a tough fight with Jessica McCaskill, but Delphine Pursoon. I thought Delphine. She should have rematched Delphine Pursuit, in my opinion, because I thought the majority decision win was a robbery. I thought that was a robbery in boxing. I think a lot of people thought so. I thought Delphine Pursuit was robbed of a victory, and I think she was very, very disappointed when they gave the fight to Katie Taylor. But I thought that Jessica McCaskill's fight with her sort of laid the blueprint for why Pursuit could have beaten her like that. I mean, Katie Taylor got her ass beat up. So I don't know Christina Litta. I don't know what Litta Tardot's style is, but if Litta Tardot is anything like Delphine Pursoon, Katie Taylor's ass is in for some trouble. So I have to go and watch at Christine Litta Tardot. Um, Christine Litta Tardot was beaten by Delphine Pursoon at lightweight. Okay, Delphine Pursoon beat her ass. So in my opinion, Delphine Pursoon is still undefeated. I thought she whooped Katie Taylor's ass. I mean, literally gave her an ass whooping. Katie Taylor got beat the fuck up in that fight. There's no other way to say it. It was an ass whooping, okay? And I thought that Delphine Pursoon should have gotten that victory. I thought she was robbed. I thought it was a robbery. The fight wasn't close. Um, so, I mean, the only person to beat Christina Litta Tardot is Delphine Pursoon. Okay? So I'm not gonna give a prediction on that fight till I see Christine Litta Tardot and what she can do, what's her boxing style. She a bigger girl than Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor been getting her ass whooped now in 2 fights, that I know of at lightweight. And if Christina Litta Tardot is anything like Delphine Pursoon or anything like the other girl that I talked about, Katie Taylor's in for some shit. She gonna get fucked up. She might win the fight. They might give her the decision, but she's gonna get fucked up in the process. So we're gonna see. Katie Taylor, of course, gonna be bigger and stronger coming up at super lightweight. Probably don't have to lose as much weight, so that might help her. But honestly speaking, she's facing tougher and tougher fights as she progresses throughout her career, and we'll see. Like I said, with Josh Taylor, I thought he got the decision. And I ran through that fight with you guys, and you saw that it wasn't a headbutt that caused his cut over his eye. It was a fucking punch. And he got his ass beat the fuck up, okay? Now, not to give him credit, he did whoop, what's his name? Ruggaru. He whooped Ruggaru's ass in the 7th round. He gave him a good ass beating in the 7th round. He gave him a good ass beating in round 10, okay? I mean, a proper ass beating in round 10. But then, Ruggaru gave him a proper ass beating in the 11th and 12th round. I mean, he got his ass beat hard in the 11th and 12th round. He was getting beat all around the ring by Ruggaru, okay? So, Ruggaru returned the favor. Of course, Ruggaru was whipping his ass. He gave him a good, nice ass beating in rounds, I believe in round number 5 and round number 4. He gave him a good ass beating, as well as the 11th and 12th. So there was rounds which was just clearly, rounds to either guy. But I thought it was a good ass fight nonetheless. But just like how they gave him the decision, because he was, of course, in the UK, and everything's going to be biased towards him. I think that they gave Katie Taylor the decision against Delphine Pursoon. And it's going to come back to bite her ass. Trust me. It's going to come back. You know how retribution. You know how retribution is. Alright, so that's what I got to say about that. But that's a good-ass fight. That's going to be on DAZN. DAZN has been putting on some tremendously great cards. And that's going to be one of them. And let me just tell you guys again another thing. And that's on DAZN. That's on the same night with Kovalev versus Canelo. I don't know if it's earlier in the day. It'd probably be earlier in the day. It's really good. Sky Sports gonna be covering it. Actually, it's not gonna be in DAZN. It's gonna be in Sky Sports. Let me see if there's anybody else on that card that's worth talking about. Anthony Corolla, he's gonna be coming back. He's gonna be facing a guy called Frank Urquiaga. I don't know who that guy is. He's an up-and-coming guy. 13-1-1. I don't know if this is just a comeback fight for Corolla. I'm not going to pick nobody right now. I'm going to have to do my homework on that one. Okay? So, that's all I got to say about that. All right, let me talk to you guys about another fight that's going to happen on November the 2nd. So, Diego Chavez is still boxing. He's going to face Magomed Korobanov. Okay? I'm going to tell you who Magomed Korobanov is. He's a up and coming fighter. He's 17-0. I don't know much about him. He seems to be from Russia. He's from Russia. Another Russian fighter. He'll be facing Diego Gabriel Chavez for the vacant WBO International Super Welterweight title. So they're going to be fighting at Super Welterweight. So Diego Chavez has moved up to Super Welter. He was a welterweight. I don't know much about this fight. You know, apparently Chavez is now going to be facing up and comers. So I don't know if they're making him a journeyman or what. I'm not too sure. But what can I tell you about this dude, this Russian fighter? I don't know any of the persons that he has fought. So I can't really say nothing about it. Most of these guys, I don't know. So he's going to have his first name opponent. So I can't really say much about the dude, but I'm going to say this. I'm going to do my homework on these guys, okay? Intangible Boxing says, I can honestly see Kovalev jumping in there for a check and getting stopped in under 3. I hope not. I hope not. You know, I don't think Kovalev goes in there for a check. He going to have too much. Come on, man. Look, this guy, he going to go in there motivated. I'm telling you, you're going to see the best Kovalev ever. You're going to see the Crusher come back. Y'all going to see the Crusher come back. Because he's got everything to gain and nothing to lose. Think about this. He's put himself in a position. He collecting the biggest check he's ever collected in his whole entire life. This is the first thing. You won't want more of those checks. Secondly, all right, as much as he scraped out that last fight, but he was outboxing Anthony Yard, right? He was outboxing Elite Alvarez, right? Think about this, man. If you beat Canelo, you get bigger checks, man. You get bigger checks. Shoot. If you beat Canelo, you the bigger dude already. If you beat Canelo, you go way up on the pound for pound status. Are you kidding me? Man, that's crazy motivation. Crazy motivation. He don't got to lose no damn weight. Buddy don't have to overtrain him. He just got to go in there and be Kovalev. Got to be confident. You know. Got to face Canelo. He knows it's a tough challenge. You know, he knows what everybody knows. Once you get inside range of Kovalev, he ain't got no answer for you. He knows this shit. So he's going to try and keep Canelo on the outside. Okay, mid-range. You know, he's going to try and do that. Right? He try to protect his body a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he got everything to gain and nothing to lose. Canelo's a superstar. If Canelo go in there and gets stopped by Kovalev, or he gets beaten by Kovalev in this fight, Kovalev gonna be flying high. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. He's got nothing to lose, everything to gain. Everybody's counting him out. Everybody's talking about how he gonna get hit by body punches and get out of there. He has nothing to lose. He has no pressure on him. All the pressure's on Canelo. You see what I'm saying? So when you think about that, he's not the man here. He's seen as a stepping stone. So I'm just saying, you know, he should be absolutely motivated right now for this fight. You know, he should be absolutely motivated for this fight. Canelo don't want no Billy Joe Saunders. Nah, Canelo runs to the fire. Don't get it twisted, man. Canelo runs to the fire, okay? I know he's going to face Demetrius Andrade. I know he's going to face Jamal Charlo. He got a long, long career ahead of him. I know he's going to face Billy Joe Saunders. This is not an if or but or maybe. He's going to face those guys. He just probably not going to face them at middleweight. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to go back down to middleweight. I don't know. We'll see. It's whatever happens with this fight, we'll know. But I don't think he's going back down to middleweight. And I think that he gonna face all them guys. I think he's just trying to get the legends out the way. He's seeing, hey, man, I could get this dude on my resume. You know what I'm saying? If I can get it, I'm gonna get it. Look, Right now, Pacquiao's still in the business, right? All them fucking welterweights looking at Pacquiao like, yeah, I wish I could get a Pacquiao fight. Everybody want a Pacquiao fight. Only Pacquiao don't want to face them guys right now. He want to face Floyd Mayweather fight. Why do you think he want a Floyd Mayweather fight? Come on now. Nobody's beating Floyd Mayweather. He'd be the first person to beat Floyd Mayweather. 1. 2, the payday's ridiculous. 3, Floyd's off his era. You know what I'm saying? Bragging rights, all kinds of shit go with Floyd. Of course he's going to chase the Floyd Mayweather fight. Of course the Young Bucks are going to chase the Pacquiao fight. Pacquiao got legacy and all this shit. Of course they're going to chase him. Of course Canelo's going to chase a Kovalev fight. Does it make sense to you? Does it make sense to you what these guys are doing? If they can get a piece of this guy's great legacy, God, even forbid, beat the guy. Do you know what that does for their status in boxing? So, I mean, obviously, if there's a living legend around, you want to beat them. And Kovalev, say what you want about him, has carved that legacy for himself. Kovalev was able to get the opportunity to beat the great Bernard Hopkins, his greatest win to date. Then he comes back and beats a young, in his prime, Elito Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? In fact, let me go back to Kovalev for a second. Let me back it up. I'm trying to remember who he beat to get the WBO title that Andre Ward dropped. Okay. Alright, okay. Alright, so the guy that he beat to get the WBO title, his name was Igor Mikhalkin. Igor Mikhalkin. That's why I don't remember him, because I don't know who the fuck he is. Igor Mikhalkin, he was a Russian fighter. He's a southpaw. He's 6'1" with a 75-inch reach. He has 2 losses. He got knocked out by one guy. Sergey Kovalev knocked his ass out. Fuck. So the Crusher is still the Crusher against a certain level of competition. Igor fought mostly in Europe, so he ain't got no names to his name. Anyway, the point is he got the WBO title, okay? I don't know. It's like, he beat who? I was like, I don't know. You know what I mean? He could be a good fighter. I don't know. I really can't say. But then he comes back and he beats Elito Alvarez. After Elito Alvarez knocks his ass out, he comes back and beats him and gets back his title. You got to give him props for that. So Sergey Kovalev is like I said, in terms of Eastern European fighters, he's the most accomplished Eastern European fighter today. Not even Gennady Golovkin can touch him in terms of level of competition. This man has faced legends in the sport of boxing. He faced Andre Ward, who's a legend in the sport of boxing. And he faced Bernard Hopkins, who's a legend. And he had 2 fights with Andre Ward. The first one, arguably, some people say he won. It was a close fight. I thought Andre Ward won at 7-5 as well. He came from behind. But nonetheless, it was a close fight with Andre Ward. And he beat Bernard Hopkins. Then he comes back and he beats undefeated Elito Alvarez, giving him his first loss. That does count for shit. He struggled with Anthony Yard, another young, strong champion. Showing you this about Sergey Kovalev. 1, Sergey Kovalev, when he faced the tougher challenges, unlike Gennady Golovkin, he stepped up to the plate, beat legend. Then he came and he was competitive with Andre Ward. You got to understand, Andre Ward is the best. He's better than Canelo. He's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Well, was. Okay? Went and faced SOG Ward and dropped him. Then, though Ward nicked it out because still gave him a tough fight. And then after that, in the second fight, wasn't as tough. Andrew Ward breaking him down to the body. But, he did some good work there, too, before he got stopped. Okay? And all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that Canelo is just going to breeze through him like he did Rocky Fielding. Well, it's going to be more brutal than Rocky Fielding because because Kovalev is that good. Is Kovalev going to hit Canelo with a jab? Of course he's going to hit him with a jab. Is he going to hit him with some power shots? Yes, he's going to hit him with some power shots. Okay? Of course. You don't go in a fight expecting not to get hit at all. He's going to get hit. What I'm saying is that Canelo got good enough defense. Great defense, actually. He's got great defense. And that's the problem. That's why Kovalev is... Anything Kovalev does, Canelo going to have defense for it. That's what allows Canelo to get on the inside. When you're defensively responsible, you can't catch the dude with the punch you want to get him with because he's going to get to the inside. And that's shit that you just can't learn overnight. That's got to be something in the muscle memory. Canelo been doing this thing since he was a kid. Since he was 13 years old, he been doing this shit. So that's like saying, because I was on one of the boxing sites today, they talking about T.I. knocking out Floyd Mayweather. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He could get lucky and knock him out. I'm like, dude, like really? This man be spending his whole entire life using his hands and feet, and T.I. gonna just come in there and knock him out, right? Come on, people. Like, come on. Oh, man. Intangible Boxing says Katie Taylor should rematch Pursoon. She lost that fight. Pursoon was robbed. Everybody and their mama could see that. And this wasn't she outboxed Katie Taylor. This was an ass whooping. Katie Taylor took an ass whooping from round 1 to round 10. It was a proper ass whooping. Right? I almost stopped Katie Taylor in the 10th or the 12th. I can't remember if it was the 12th round, 10th round. I mean, come on, man. They did Pursoon wrong, and Pursoon knew it. She knew it. She cried. Couldn't believe they robbed her. I did not hear Diego Chavez's name in years. I know, man. Did you see what Johnny Boy said about Shakur Stevenson? I didn't. I'm sorry, I just didn't. I'm going to talk about the Shakur Stevenson fight in a minute. What happens first? Canelo faces Andrade or Kanye West drops another? You clowning, bro. Kanye West obviously drops another. You know what it is, brother. You know what it is. He ain't too keen on facing Andrade right now. Andre got to do something. You know why? Because risk versus reward. He don't want to have to go through all that hard work. You know that. and Andre live off his name. Oh, he faced Canelo and he gave him a tough fight. No. Andre need to get some kind of name on his resume. This is what Canelo be saying. He ain't enthusiastic to face Andre at all. He said it. It came out of his own mouth. You know what it is, though. You know what it is. Let me get back to these fights, man. You know he's not enthusiastic about facing Demetrius Andrade. Point blank, period. I'm not going to say he's ducking him, but I'm going to say he's not enthusiastic about facing him. You imagine, you are just one fight away from becoming undisputed. But you just, all of a sudden, you facing everybody. You had that deadline. You could have faced Demetrius Andrade and kept your IBF title, right? Right? With the mandatory, which was Jamal Charlo for you, you let the WBC give you a franchise belt. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is. Them boys been 5 years. Them boys been in his scope, and he been in their scope. He ain't faced them in 5 years. Come on, man. But hey, it's all good. It's all good. But we know if it walk like a duck, if it quack like a duck, all right, it probably is a duck. I'm just gonna say that. I can't say it. You know why I can't say it? Because it's foolish Kovalev fight, man. I really want to say he ducked him, but I can't say it because these other people feel that Kovalev got a chance in hell to beat Canelo. So what are we gonna do? We gotta let it play out, right? We gotta let it play out. Sometimes I wish Kovalev would knock his ass out. So I can laugh at him and say, "Look, you ducked Charlo and you ducked Andre. You got your ass whooped." I would love to say that, honestly. You know what I'm saying? You gonna go 2 weight classes up? Come on, man. Not even one. Not even 1 weight class. He went 2 to make sure he was far away from them. Come on now. But I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. I gotta have respect. This Kovalev fight is gonna be a tough fight. Oh my God. Oh man, I can't believe people buy the Kool-Aid. It is what it is. It is what it is, intangible. That's all I can say about that. It is what it is. It pisses me off, bro. That fight fans could be so gullible. They should be shitting all over this fight right now with Kovalev versus Canelo. Just because it's a poor fight. He ducked Andre. They should be going in on his ass right now. And I'm a Canelo fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Canelo fan. I like how he fights. I like what he does. But this is bullshit. This is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest. It's some bullshit. But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what it is. At least you know what it is. Shit. They feel Kovalev ain't gonna get stopped. Man, y'all some real whack ass motherfuckers. That's why motherfuckers can get away with ducking other people and get franchise championship belts. Y'all talking about the franchise belt. Well, what the fuck he doing fighting Sergey Kovalev? What is he fight? Now, I hope Kovalev knocks his ass out. Shit, so I can clown his ass. You went up 2 weight classes to get your ass beat. Thought it was a cherry. That's what I want. I'm a clown his ass. If he lose this fight by stoppage or something, man, I'm gonna clown his ass. Yeah, I'm gonna do that for sure. Anyway, I ain't gonna say nothing. Let's see what happens. So anyway, let me go back to what I was saying here. On November the 2nd, it's a lit 8. Man, I gotta talk about Robert Easter versus Adrian Granados too. The fights that went past. Man, I can't believe it. We're rolling on the first hour already. Javier Fortuna versus Jesus Coelho. Now, Jesus Coelho, he's moving up to lightweight. Is this a lightweight fight? Let me see. Shit, I need to see the weight class. Yep, lightweight. Okay, this is going to be a lightweight fight with Javier Fortuna. It's a good-ass fight. Javier Fortuna, having suffered 2 losses. He was stopped in one of them. He lost to Robert Easter Jr. by split decision. Robert Easter is a hell of a boxer, man. I loved what he did with Adrian Granados. Granados came back later on in the fight, but Robert Easter, boy, that boy good. And he also got knocked out by Jason Sosa. Jason Sosa was the guy that knocked out Javier Fortuna. Good fighter. Javier Fortuna is a good fighter. Don't get it twisted. Just because he got knocked out, just because he lost. I think a lot of people, the problem with people today is they write off fighters when they get a loss. I think the Mayweather syndrome has messed up a lot of people. Listen. First of all, everybody cannot beat Floyd Mayweather, okay? Can we stop with that bullshit? Second of all, people trying to just keep their and they're afraid to face other people. That's some bullshit as well. Because honestly, Floyd faced everybody. Okay? So that's some bullshit. Having said that, Javier Fortuna is a good fighter. Okay? He was the super featherweight champion. Beat Brian Vasquez. For those of you who know who that is. And Jason Sosa was able to knock his ass out. After that, he's never been knocked out. Moved up to lightweight recently. Lost to Robert Easter Jr., but then he's been moving on pretty good. He had a no contest against Adrian Granados at lightweight or super lightweight. Came back down, beat Sheriff Bogre. Sheriff Bogre from the Mayweather Boxing Club. And now he's going to face Jesus Coelho. Good fighter. Jesus Coelho's a good fighter. Did most of his best work at featherweight. Now he's up at lightweight. His 3rd weight class. We're going to see what happens with that. But at the end of the day, he has won belts at featherweight. I think he's won a super featherweight title as well. and now he's going up to lightweight to see if he can cap one of those. He's a very good fighter. I think he, if I'm not mistaken, Cuela knocked out. He was the last person I think to knock out Darchinian. Yeah, Victor Chinian. Okay, and you know Victor Chinian is a skillful southpaw. So he knocked him out to win the featherweight title. That was with Robert Garcia when he was with Robert Garcia's gym. He then went on to it's the featherweight title. He defended successfully, lost to Abner Mars by split decision. Was a good fight. Moved up to super featherweight. Did not win a super featherweight title. Sorry, my bad. He fought Javante Davis for the WBA super featherweight title. The bigger Javante Davis stopped him, and since then he's fought Carlos Padilla and knocked him out. He's gonna be facing Javier Fortuna at lightweight. So he's been moving up weight classes. We'll see if he can do something at lightweight or not. We'll find out soon enough. Right? So, Javier Fortuna versus Jesus Andres Cuela. That's going to be a good fight. I favor Javier Fortuna to win, but don't count out Jesus Cuela. So, I'll tell you that one. Then we got one more really good fight. The guy that actually knocked out Javier Fortuna, Jason Sosa, who also faced Vasily Lomachenko. I think Lomachenko stopped him. He's going to be facing Miguel Berchelt at super featherweight. Okay, that's a good fight again. I got Miguel Berchelt, of course, winning against Jason Sosa, even though Jason Sosa has been a world champion at featherweight. I believe it was a super featherweight. Super featherweight, I think it is. So that's a good ass fight. Miguel Berchelt has proven himself. He beat the likes of the following guys. He beat the likes of Francisco Vargas. He beat Miguel Roman. He's been the super featherweight champion for a good minute. He beat Takashi Miura. So he's had some good fights, man. And that Takashi Miura fight was something, man. So yeah, he's beaten some really good fighters. Francisco Vargas, of course, having that hell of a fight with I can't remember what the other guy was. So all set of knockdowns and shit. Undefeated Francisco Vargas at that too. So Miguel Berchelt, he's the goods. He's definitely the goods. He's been stopped once in his career by some guy named Luis Flores. But I pick him to win against Jason Sosa. Of course, styles make fights. So we'll see. I have not really researched these fighters in detail, but just thinking about the name. So that's basically it right there for the weekend fights. It's going to be a great crack of a weekend. I wanted to go into those first before I talk about what the topic is really. Legends and what fight fans really don't understand. So we're going to get into that. So going into the topic at hand now. Let me just check any more of the comments you guys have. Okay, Intangible Boxing said, Johnny Boy basically said he'll never watch Shakur unless he faces a good name, and his thumbnail was his mugshot from 4 years ago. That's true. I think, no, they actually changed it now so that his thumbnail is a proper thumbnail. No Pal Boxolano says, I thought DAZN was the one that didn't approve the Boo Boo fight. Against Canelo? Or against Triple G? Talk to me. No Pal Boxolano. So I'm not too sure what you're talking about. Tangible Boxing says that Johnny Boy said that because he was boring. Well, I can understand what Johnny Boy is saying because I was kind of a little bit bored watching the same thing over and over again. You see, because the thing about it is Shakur wasn't doing anything flashy or nothing really flamboyant. He was just keeping it basic. Like he was basically doing one particular punch. And so it was the jab up top and then the straight left to the body. And he was just pivoting. He was just circling the ring. So I can understand why it did look very monotonous. I'm not going to lie to you. He and I agree on that. It was pretty boring. It was like the same thing over and over and over again. And then the thing with Gonzalez don't really come in with the high guard. You know, like how Josh Taylor was walking the high ground. He was walking to, he changed it up and he started walking to Regis Prograde with the high guard, right? I'm going to explain. Let me demonstrate. I got you. Okay. So, there's a difference between walking to a guy like this, okay, versus walking to a guy like this. Okay? It's called a roving guard, where I'm sort of blocking here if you hook me here, blocking here if you hook me here. If you come with a straight shot, I'm going to do like this, and my hands are higher up. And I do this. Okay? I change levels all the time. Because that's what Joet Gonzalez was coming to him with. It's a little bit different. So as a result of that, Shakur Stevens would time him. He'd throw a jab up top, so he would block up top, open it up below to the body. So he would do like this. Okay? Hook, hook. Let me try to do it a little bit further away so you can see from the side. Jab up top, stab to the body down low. Okay? That's what he was doing. And that's basically what he's doing. And he was just pivoting, going backwards, pivoting, 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 pivoting. He shuffled backwards sometimes. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay? Okay? Basically what he's doing. So, he did that all night. He didn't do a whole lot. He started putting in a check hook because he was just rolling out of the way. And then he started check hooking with his roll. So he was practicing different things. He was just practicing different things on Joet. But he was very careful and cautious to control his distance. That was his whole thing. And the nice thing I liked was his feinting. He feinted as if he was going to attack Joet, keeping Joet off balance. Joet would always react to the attack. And he'd take a step back, change levels. And he looked physically stronger as well. But to be honest with you, it was pretty monotonous and basic. It wasn't nothing. They were comparing him to Floyd and all kinds of shit I was hearing. And I was like, oh my God. ESPN always go over the top of their shit, man. They be saying all kinds of superlatives and just some ridiculous shit. But he basic. He's not like Devin Haney. Devin Haney, they say Devin Haney's more aggressive. It's not that he's more aggressive, but it's just that when you got competition like Joet Gonzalez, you supposed to dust them motherfuckers. You supposed to dust his ass. You're not just supposed to be just basic, doing one thing and nothing else. You're supposed to dust them. You understand what I'm saying? And he did try to hook, throw the jab and hook off the jab and all of that, but I found that he just did one thing and that was it. And it was pretty monotonous. I'm not gonna lie. So I kind of agree. I couldn't understand where Johnny Boy's coming from, but if Johnny Boy's a real boxing fan, he will see all the nuances that Shakur Stevenson be doing. The weird thing about the hypocrisy of these motherfuckers is, here's ESPN praising the crap out of Shakur Stevenson, but these same people was talking about the Maypac fight. They were talking about how Floyd, he didn't stand and fight, and he was so boring, and the casual fans, when they see this shit, they're going to be bored as hell. But yet, these are the same motherfuckers. What is the name of the guy? The Mexican dude who be commentating? Who talking about appreciating Shakur Stevenson and look at his boxing skill? When Floyd just came into boxing, he was dusting motherfuckers like Joet Gonzalez. I mean, he was trashing motherfuckers, okay? You not staying in that ring with Floyd. He gonna dust your ass. You gonna get knocked out, okay? Now, Shakur Stevenson didn't do that. But it doesn't matter. He got the W. That's what counts. And he just got to keep on doing what he's doing. It's about getting the W. So I'm not mad at him. I see the nuance, what he's doing. How he's, how the angles that he comes with. The nice little spin out that he does with his footwork is beautiful. All right. But is it like a cup of tea for everybody? No. It's too repetitive. He's not really doing anything. He's not changing any variation. With Maypac, Floyd was check hooking Pacquiao all the time. But the thing about it was Pacquiao was so aggressive, so fast. When Floyd check hooked Pacquiao, you know, he didn't do it properly. He didn't always do it perfectly. You know what I'm saying? There was certain monotonous things Floyd was doing in there that was it made it boring and routine. But then there was other things he did was so beautiful and inventive. You know, like a pull counter with the left fucking hand. You pull counter a dude with your left hand. That is your pull counter. The guy jabbed and you pull countered with your jab. That fucking shit was crazy. I never seen nobody pull counter with a jab like that. Off a pivot? Oh, come on, get out of here. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. And Shakur just keep basic. So I understand why some people would say it was boring. Especially people who don't know shit about boxing. I don't know if Johnny Boy knows boxing like that. So, you saw I demonstrated again. I'm demonstrating to you so you understand that was basically what Shakur was doing the whole entire fight. He just kept it where he just decided I'll point him. Every now and then he throw a left to the body. But he's just circling, letting Joet come waste his load. And Shakur couldn't fight on the inside. He just chose to keep it on the outside. So, that's not. Shakur ain't even show you half of his skill. That boy got skill. But in this particular fight, he just chose to just beat him on points. I don't know if it is that he just didn't want to dust him because he was his girlfriend's brother. So he wanted to keep his integrity. He still beat up his face. You saw the guy's face was marked up. So it wasn't like he wasn't hitting him with shit. But it was like he was hitting him to let him know, if you come in here, I'm gonna light your ass up. But at the same time, he doesn't want to light his ass up. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of feeling I got from him. Intangible Boxer says, my problem is he never calls Klitschko or Fury boring. But he always talks bad about Floyd Ward. Because he's a racist. What, you didn't get that already? He a racist. Johnny Boy be talking from a white-centric perspective. Eurocentric perspective. He racist. I call it like I see it. If it look like a chicken, and it crow like a chicken, or it cockle like a rooster, then it's a rooster. If it quack like a duck, walk like a duck, it's a duck. It's what it is. He racist. It's all good, though, because I can understand where he's coming from, though. As a casual-ass fan watching that shit, even though they praising him and stuff, they're like, yeah, but it's kind of repetitive. It's like the same thing over and over again, Yet, they talked about Floyd was running and he ducked like a chicken, and Bernard Osano, or whatever his fucking name is, trashed Floyd for that. And that is not how the greatest fighters in the world used to fight. And I heard all kinds of shit because why? They wanted Pacquiao to win. And Floyd beat him like it was nothing. Yet I hear them saying, Shakur Stevenson made Joet Gonzalez look like he didn't belong in the ring with him. Just different levels. And who the fuck is Joet Gonzalez? You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck? I don't want to go trashing on Shakur Stevenson's win. He a WBO champion. They're young champions. It was both undefeated. But who the fuck is Joet Gonzalez? I didn't know who he was until I heard that he had to face Shakur Stevens. Right? Like Shakur Stevens even said it. Nobody know who you was until you had to face me. They coming to see me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he's young and everything. He's 20 years old and all that. But I'm just saying that I'm happy for him. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like he faced Gary Russell Jr. for the championship. It wasn't like he faced that dude. It wasn't like he faced Leo Santa Cruz. It wasn't like he faced Josh Warrington, which I think if he faces Josh Warrington and he beats his ass, man, you got to give him his props, right? I'm just saying. There are a lot of people at super feather. He didn't beat a Jason Sosa. But Jason Sosa is super feather, sorry. He at featherweight. Sorry, my bad. Names at featherweight he could face. You got to face some kind of name. But he early in the game. He young. He just won a championship at 20. That's early in the game. Only 13 fights. That's incredible. They didn't match him tough. They didn't match him tough like they did Oscar De La Hoya, Pernell Whitaker. They more went the Floyd route. Floyd Mayweather route. Floyd won his championship after 18 fights. So these young bucks be doing it early. And I give him props. I give him props. He was supposed to face Oscar Valdez, but you know what Oscar Valdez did. So you know it is what it is. You know, Shakur would have preferred the Oscar Valdez fight, but he ended up with Joey Gonzalez. You can't fault the kid for that. You can't fault him for what, you know. So I give him his props. I'm just saying though. Who the fuck is Joanne Gonzalez? They had to create a story to make you interested, right? Oh, Shakur's dating his sister. Okay, cool. Oh, they got a rift too. The family doesn't really accept it. The sister. It's a good story. But they had to build a story. They had to build a story to make this fight credible. I'm just saying. I'm happy for Shakur. You know, world champion. Now he got leverage, better paychecks. You know, he gets now to face other world champions. Josh Warrington talking about unifying. But here's Shakur. Warrington talking about some other fucking WBA regular champion. Some bullshit, right? Who the WBA regular featherweight champion right now? Some guy beginning with C. Kuna, some shit like that. I'm like, who the fuck is Kuna? You know what I'm saying? You always want to face, like this guy always want to face some no-name motherfucker. There's Shakur Stevenson. Josh Warrington, make that fight with Shakur. Shakur won that fight with you. Bob Arum should make that happen. That's a good-ass fucking fight. Because Warrington's hot. He's strong. He a strong dude. You know what I'm saying? He beat guys like Carl Frampton. Make the fight. Let's see it. Shakur versus Josh Warrington. That'll be a hell of a fight. I'll tell you that. You know. So that's a good fight. Because Warrington will make. He not just going to go in there like Joey Gonzalez and don't know what the fuck to do to close the gap. He going to close that gap. And he's big and he's strong. He can take a punch. So that would be a good fight. Definitely a good fight. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. So those are all the fights that I was talking about. Intangible boxing, you be just carving it up right now. Yeah, so my problem is he never calls Klitschko or Fury boring, but he always talking bad about Floyd, Ward, Hopkins. Spot the differences. Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. I understand. These fanboys got me fired up at times on both sides. I hear you, man. I hear you, dude. I hear you. Man, I'll be fired up too because sometimes, you see, I'm all about the truth in boxing. Not about bullshit. You know, I'll be honest with you. I don't give a fuck about race. I don't give a fuck about all of that shit. You heard me just now talk about Shakur Stevenson a minute ago. And you know, I kind of agree with Johnny Boy to some degree. And again, I'm not trying to be like, you know, I hate Johnny Boy, whatever. I listen to his content, whether he's racist or not. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, you got to tell the truth. On the other side, Barbershop Conversations, pound for pound list is number 1. Wilder, Spence. Number 1 is Wilder, 2 Spence, 3 Crawford, J-Rock, Gary Russell Jr. I don't know about that shit. There's no way Wilder is pound for pound number 1. What the fuck? How he pound for pound number 1? Please. Like, please. Who the fuck did Wilder beat to become pound for pound number 1? Fury? You can't say Luis Ortiz. You can't be serious. Okay? How did he become pound for pound number 1? In his whole fucking career, the only Hall of Famer he's faced, or potential future Hall of Famer he's faced, is Tyson Fury. And that depends on if Tyson Fury actually continues his boxing career, right? And if he knocks his ass out, that'd be great. But there's nobody else. And Tyson Fury gotta do a lot more in his career before he become a Hall of Famer, but I'm just saying. I mean, come on now. Wilder, please. He ain't no fucking pound for pound number 1. He's on the pound for pound list. No doubt about that. If fucking Gennady Golovkin could be on the pound for pound list, Wilder is on it. But don't make the, come on, man. It's like, really? Like, Barbershop Conversations, are you out of your fucking mind? You gonna take Pacquiao and Canelo and put them where on the pound for pound list? Where does Pacquiao and Canelo go? I mean, come on, like seriously, for real. Pacquiao and Canelo, where do they belong on the pound for pound list? Like Barbershop Conversations, his mind is out of his fucking. What the fuck is he thinking? I mean, sorry about the F-bombs, but he out of his fucking mind, man. What is Gary Russell Jr. doing on the pound for pound list? Because he faced Lomachenko? I mean, come on, man. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Man, this shit getting really whack. Wilder, yeah, he belongs on the pound for pound list. I get that. Probably at number 10 or number 8. But please do not tell me he's pound for pound number 1. Are you out of your fucking skull? Well, he's got all these defenses. Against who, motherfucker? Against who? His best fights today are Bermane's to Vern, the first one, not the second one. Ortiz and Tyson Fury. Out of all them fucking fights, that's all he's done. That's his step up. I give him Ortiz. Ortiz is a skilled Cuban boxer. But please. Jesus Christ, man. Spence is on the pound for pound list. No doubt about that. Crawford is on the pound for pound list. Sure. J-Rock, pound for pound list? No. Gary Russell Jr.? No. He out of his fucking mind. Alright? I'm not saying they're not in the top 10, but not Gary Russell Jr. I'm talking about Crawford, Spence, and Wilder. They can't be in the top 10. I can see that happening. Wilder being the lowest of them. Because fucking hell, Spence got to be above Crawford now. Spence beat Porter, Brook, the fuck is his name? He beat Porter, Brook, Peterson, and Garcia. Alright? Those are the 4 notable names. None of them are Hall of Famers at this point in time, but one of them is going to be. Terrence Crawford beat Gamboa, Burns, Beltran, Postol. Okay? Right? I do not include Jeff Horn in the equation for a reason. I do not include Amir Khan in the equation for a reason. So, those are his names. Okay? I think Errol is above him in the pound for pound list. Crawford will disagree with me, but I don't care. But when you're talking about pound for pound 1 and 2, that belongs to either Canelo or Pacquiao. Point blank, period. Okay. Danny Garcia should be in the pound for pound list. They have Alexander Usyk in there because he became undisputed. I guess they'll put Josh Taylor in there when he becomes undisputed, if he does. That's not, to me, that's just not making no fucking sense. Undisputed against who, motherfucker? Against who? It's a factor, but you gotta at least tell me who the motherfucker faced and who he beat. It's very important. So, I mean, you know, I'm just saying. What do they say there? Danny Garcia belongs 20 to 30 as pound for pound. Oh, come on, man. You're dissing Danny so much. Danny faced Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, may face Manny Pacquiao at welterweight, Robert Guerrero. Okay, let's forget Guerrero. Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. You saw what Sean Porter did to Errol Spence. You saw what Sean Porter did to Keith Thurman. You saw what Sean Porter did to Danny Garcia. And you saw what Sean Porter did to Kell Brook. Motherfucker is legit. So even though he ain't getting the decision, he's legit. Therefore, that's a hell of an opponent that Danny Garcia faced and lost to. He faced Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman was dusting his ass, then he outboxed him coming down to the end. I didn't think the fight was that close, but he faced Keith Thurman. Okay? You cannot put Danny Garcia down at 20-30 when he's been facing that level of competition at welterweight. Okay? Then, at junior welterweight, when he became unified, he faced the legend. You can't be giving Kovalev credit for beating Bernard Hopkins, and you don't want to give Danny Garcia credit for beating motherfucking Eric Morales, who was the WBC super lightweight champion. You cannot do that. And he was doping. Shit. Come on now. So, he beat a legend in the sport. Tell me what legend did Terrence Crawford beat? Tell me what legend did Errol Spence beat? Tell me what legend did Keith Thurman beat? Tell me what legend did Sean Porter beat? Okay then. I'll wait. He beat, in his prime, flying high, Amir Khan, who just came off of beating Marcus Maidana. He beat him. Stopped him. Okay? What Marcus Maidana could not do, Danny Garcia did. After that, Amir Khan was never the same. Danny Garcia wrecked Amir Khan's. He wrecked his career. Okay? Alright. Danny Garcia faced Lamont Peterson. Lamont Peterson was a beast. You saw Lamont Peterson put the beating on him in the 11th and 12th round. But the point is, he beat him. Danny's a tough dude. These names I'm mentioning are names. Then he faced another legend in the sport of boxing, Zab Super fucking Judah. He beat him too. You know, Judah was coming on late. Beating Danny's ass as well. He beat Zab Super Judah. Okay? Then, we're not done. He faced Lucas Matisse when Lucas Matisse was a beast. Put a beating on Devin Alexander's ass. Beat up Zab Judah. Zab Judah was never the same. They got the win, but they got beat the fuck up. Now Lucas Matisse. Not the Lucas Matisse that Pacquiao faced. Not the Lucas Matisse that Victor Postol faced. That Lucas Matisse. He faced him. The Lucas Matisse that stopped DeMarcus Corley. Okay? That Lucas Matisse. That was wrecking people. He has heavy, heavy hands. That Lucas Matisse that faced Provatna fucking Cuff. I got the win. He faced that Lucas Matisse, ladies and gentlemen. Dropped his ass. And almost stopped him in the 12th. Okay? That's the Danny Garcia we're talking about. Y'all must have forgot. He might have gotten outboxed by Hernandez. What's his name? The Maestro in Puerto Rico. He might have faced Rod Salka. But at the end of the day, Danny Garcia is the goods. Okay? Y'all can say what you want. That's the truth. And that motherfucker, if Pacquiao faces him, Pacquiao could get dusted. The Danny Garcia I see, he wrecked Adrian Granados. Adrian Granados is not the same since that Danny Garcia fight. He fought Robert Easter. He looked slow as fuck, man. He don't have the tenacity he used to have. Danny beat the shit out of him. Danny Garcia is no joke. Keith Thurman said he got hit on his arm. He said if I got caught on the chin, it would have been a problem with that shot. Danny hits hard. Like a mule. And he's underrated when it comes to his boxing skill. So I'm just saying, Angel Garcia got a special one. That's the Danny Garcia, for those who don't know, that beat Terrence Crawford in the amateurs. And he thought he beat him the second time too. Okay, he's fierce competitor. Okay, he's a bad boy. Just because he's not undefeated now doesn't mean he don't belong in the pound for pound list. This boy been facing giants in the sport of boxing. Giants. This dude been doing it. Everybody's been always putting him down and all this shit. But you look at his fucking resume from the get-go, from his debut was some shit. He been matched tough from the get-go. Danny Garcia is no fucking joke, and y'all don't realize it. Yeah, the Red Soccer fight was bullshit. The Mauricio Herrera fight was bullshit. I give you that. But other than that, that motherfucker is serious. He's serious goods, man. He's serious goods. Like I said before, I would love to see him against Terrence Crawford. And if Pacquiao wants to face him, I wish him the best of luck. Just don't get caught by Danny in a trade, because Pacquiao loves to trade. You don't get caught by Danny in a trade. Don't get it twisted. Danny will time your ass. All you know, you'll be facing the canvas. Ask Amir Khan. Danny is good. Yeah, you think you fast? Motherfucker, he gonna catch you. You know, and he represented well against Sean Porter. He was landing some good body shots, clean shots on Sean Porter. It was a close fight, too. You know what I'm saying? It was a close fight. You know, Danny is no fucking joke. Y'all getting tripped up with these fighters and their losses. I think he a better pound-for-pound fighter right now than a lot of guys on that pound-for-pound list. You know, I'm just saying. You know, because he got good game. He got good game, solid defense. You know, he slides in. He doesn't step in. He slides in on you. He don't his footwork is a tricky one. He don't lift his feet too much. He slide in. Slip and slide, baby. He tricky. Y'all think he's slow. He not that slow as you think. Otherwise, them boxers like Paulie Malignaggi and the boxers like Amir Khan, they would have tagged him up and he wouldn't have gotten to them. He's tricky. He come with them big old ass looping shots. Keith Thurman learned to respect that shit. He was mocking Danny. He had to box him on the outside to just make sure he didn't come in on the inside. Like, he had to respect that dude. So I'm just saying, you know, y'all like to clown Danny. I don't know why, man. Why y'all clown Danny? Tangible Boxing says, this is your pound for pound list. Crawford and Inu. Inu is the next hot thing, but don't be surprised Donaire beats him. That's all I'm going to say about that. Canelo, Spence, and Loma are my conscientious top 5 pound for pound. It's not a bad list, but you got to put Pacquiao in there, bro. You got to put Pacquiao in there. Pacquiao got too much fucking shit going on not to be in the top 5 pound for pound. He had a number 1 or number 2. You know, I can't say Crawford because Crawford, I mean, I told you the names he fought in boxing. So I just don't see him as number 1 or number 2 in the pound for pound. I know you have to look at skills and all of that stuff too, not just resume. But I just boxing the monster, what's good, my brother? But I just don't see him as a top pound for pound fighter, you know. I mean, I don't see that. Danny beats bums and loses to elite fighters. That's not true. Come on, man. I just mentioned a bunch of elite fighters just a minute ago. Tangible Boxing. If it's based on who you face, Gabriel Rosado is top 5 pound for pound. Nah, he's not. He had it. Okay. All the fights that Danny lost, right, were competitive fights. They either split decision losses or unanimous decision by a slim margin. Right? You know Danny only got 2 losses on his resume, right? He's just lost 2 fights. Gabriel Rosado has lost a plethora of fights by stoppage. He actually got his ass knocked out by Alfredo Angulo. Okay? Showing that his skill set, his defense is not that great. He always getting his face busted up by somebody. All right? You would learn to protect your eyes at least if you know that that's going to be a problem. You protect the eye. That's all you do. The motherfucker don't even know how to protect his eye. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, he's just one step away from being he's already a journeyman. He's a journeyman. He's a gatekeeper. People take him, they use him to go up on. Danny's still elite premier. Gabriel Rosado's never been a world champion. Danny's been a world champion. Okay, the only losses Danny's got is two. It's to Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. That's it. So I mean, Gabriel Rosado continuously gets his ass beat by people. All right, and the fights are not even close. Terrible Boxing says video comparing Danny and Crawford's resume. There's no comparison, buddy. There's just no comparison. You compare Danny Garcia's to Crawford's resume from the beginning of their careers to the present time. There is no fucking comparison. All right, just none. Danny's resume is superior to Crawford's. It's what it is. Pacquiao is not top 5 pound for pound. Why? What you did 10 years ago is not relevant to what you rated today. He lost to Jeff Horn 2 years ago. So what? Again, you counting losses as if that don't make you pound for pound. All right? You have to look at the whole complete picture. Who is he facing? Who is he beat? All right? So, what was it? 4 years ago, he faced Floyd Mayweather. Has Terrence Crawford faced a Floyd Mayweather? No. All right? He has not faced a Floyd Mayweather. Until he faces somebody anywhere near the vicinity of a Floyd Mayweather, even if it's an Errol Spence, you know, who's dominating right now. If he faces somebody on a Floyd Mayweather level, right, in welterweight division, it'll be Errol Spence, I guess, right? Then we could talk about him being better than Pacquiao. As it stands, Pacquiao is in a position where he can beat every single one of those welterweights in that division. He could beat Terrence Crawford. He could beat Errol Spence. He could beat Sean Porter. He's proven it by beating Keith Thurman. So, and since we are talking about pound for pound, Pacquiao has literally proven that pound for pound, this motherfucker been going up weight classes. He gone up 10 fucking weight classes and proved that he can dominate in each weight class. Okay? So when we talk about pound for pound, Pacquiao's proven that shit. He deserved to be at the top of the pound for pound list. Because he, unlike Terrence Crawford, who has done it for 3 weight classes, he did lightweight, did super lightweight, and he's doing welterweight now. He's done it for 3 weight classes. Pacquiao's done it for 10. He's gone through 10 weight classes. No, sorry, he did it for 8. 8 out of 10. There's no fucking way that Terrence Crawford is put pound for pound above Pacquiao. You can't do that shit. You can't do it. This brother actually proved it. He said, man, I come from flyweight, motherfucker. I've been beating ass from flyweight all the way up to welterweight. I literally proved that I am pound for pound the best. Because I actually went through weight classes pound for pound and showed people I am the best. Come on now. Come on now. Y'all may have something against Pacquiao, but I don't have nothing against him like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing against him like that. Alright? And Canelo is going to his 4th fucking weight class. Tell me when Terrence Crawford does that. And then I can give him credit above Canelo. Until then, Canelo been dominating. He been dominating each fucking weight class he been in. He been dominating. And you know what I mean by dominate. I don't mean he beating up ass like that. I mean he's winning. That's what I mean. He ain't a man at middleweight. If he goes up to light heavyweight, nobody's doubting that he'll be the man at light heavyweight. You know, well, he's gonna beat the man at light heavyweight anyway. But the point is, nobody's doubting that he could be able to beat every single light heavyweight there. We've actually had this debate before. I was listening to it on the Boxing Voice, and they think that Canelo can take Bitter BF. And the motherfucker hasn't even started facing Kovalev yet, and they thinking that. That's when you pound for pound the best. The discussion starts happening. That shit ain't happening with Terrence Crawford. Nobody talking about Terrence Crawford going up to middleweight and dominating. Nobody's talking about that shit. If you pound for pound the best, then people should be able to imagine if you go up middleweight. If you go up this weight class, if you go up that weight class, nobody's talking like that. The discussion's not even reached there with Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence. But the discussion's there with Pacquiao, the discussion's there with Canelo. I mean, I make arguments that y'all obviously haven't thought about because, you know, all of you guys echo the sentiment out there. But I actually think about boxing. I think about boxing. I don't just think out of my ass. I think about boxing. You know these are good arguments. Intangible Boxing says, you ready to debate Jellick at Boxing Monster? Let's go, baby. Boxing Monster said Jellick don't show up for the IOTBA debate. Jellick was born a woman. Man, they got some punks out there. H Money's a punk too. Intangible Boxing said he's skinny with ginormous dreads. I don't know too much about Jellick, so I can't really say. Intangible Boxing says Pacquiao has not beat any postal level fighter the last 3 years. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Oh, now you talking some real ass shit. Postal just got his ass beat by Taylor. The fuck you talking about? Postal? What you say? Get the fuck out of here. Keith Thurman, unified champion, beats Sean Porter, beats Danny Garcia. He a Postal? First of all, Postal. Have you checked Postal's knockout ratio? Check it. You check Keith Thurman's knockout ratio. Okay. Where how are you comparing? How are you comparing Keith Thurman to Postal? I'm trying. Help. Now this shit started really annoying me. What are you talking about? How is Keith Thurman like Postal? I don't understand. This make no damn sense to me. Keith Thurman is washed. What the fuck are you talking about? In my scorecards, he beat Pacquiao. It was a close fight. I knew Pacquiao was going to get a decision, right? Motherfucker beat the fuck out of Pacquiao. Pacquiao was like, man, that guy hit hard. After the fight, he's like, man, that guy hit hard. Okay, just like Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor was like, man, he got heavy hands. Okay, that black eye, that's swollen shut. It has not opened up yet. All these days after, right? That motherfucker gave him a black eye for real. Okay. He took some punishment to get that win, okay? Y'all get it. Y'all tripping, man. What the fuck you talking? Because Pacquiao beat Thurman. Man, come on, man. Ah, come on, man. Pacquiao took PEDs. So did Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I don't know if they took illegal PEDs, but they definitely took something. Tangible Boxing says, this motherfucker Jellick got Andre above Canelo pound for pound. What the fuck? What is he counting on? Skill-wise? What the fuck? That's crazy. I don't even understand it. Now y'all got me confused. But then again, they got Terrence Crawford above everybody. So I mean, they got Lomachenko above Terrence Crawford and Lomachenko above Pacquiao and Canelo. I mean, I guess having a career where you dominated and beat a host of the legends and all that shit don't mean shit in pound for pound rankings all of a sudden. I don't understand it, man. I just don't. And you at the top of your game. Pacquiao at the top of his game. He's the super champion at the WBA. He the real champion. He just beat the real champion. I don't even understand this shit. How you can say, yeah, okay. So I guess Muhammad Ali wasn't the greatest heavyweight in the world because he got beaten by Leon Spinks. I mean, come on, man. It happens. I guess Lennox Lewis wasn't the best heavyweight of his time because he got beat by Oliver McCall and he got beat by Hasim Rahman. I mean, come on, man. Like really, peoples. Going on his A game all the time. I get you on that. I understand. But you got to understand that what Pacquiao did in redemption for the bullshit that happened in the Jeff Horn fight, for the redemption of the Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight, he fought one of the top 3 best welterweights in the welterweight division. Okay? And if this motherfucker goes on to face an Errol Spence or a Terrence Crawford, okay, and whether he's competitive or he beats them, you gotta give him his fucking due. You gotta give him his due. I'm telling you, man, this man is up there in all-time pound for pound list. Fucking BoxRec got him number 2 after Floyd. I mean, come on, man. I'm not saying that he is, but I'm just saying. I'm not even saying Floyd is number 1 in pound for pound rankings. Number 1, Boxing Monster says Canelo. Number 2, Lomachenko. Number 3, Bud Crawford. Number 4, Now Inu. Number 5, Usyk and Pacquiao, but only on PEDs. Pacquiao with PEDs is unbeatable. You saying he used PEDs for the Thurman fight, aren't you? Oh my God. If you're saying that, and Canelo was caught using PEDs though. What they call Canelo, they're calling him now. Okay, he was caught using PEDs, so you gotta include Canelo too. If you're gonna do that. There are a lot of people using PEDs these days. That's the problem. And that's what Paulie Malignaggi was identifying. And my boy Tommy Temple been talking about that. People are using PEDs, but they're not getting caught. Some motherfuckers using the PEDs. Keith Thurman turned into Antonio Margarito. Slow and powerful. That's it. Oh, come on, man. Margarito never got tired. Pacquiao with roids has the Hulk strength. Y'all clowning Pacquiao. Prime Pacquiao against that human would have been a fatality, and I would put millions on a death. A Thurman. Pacquiao PDs is like where Fat Joy found Puns Rhymes book. Oh my God. You're all clowning this dude. Woo! Hey, whatever, man. Whatever. Whatever. All I know is that I think those two should be high up in the pound for pound rankings. That's all I'm saying. Y'all clowning them. Pacquiao Royce is like Drake with ghost writers. Oh God. Pacquiao Royce is Pusha T with Kanye's friend. Oh man, y'all are silly. You guys are silly, man. Y'all got me laughing. Oh, it's so funny. I'm gonna say this though. Y'all can clown Pacquiao as much you want. I think he's up there anyway, right? Say what you want. Anyway, let me talk about what I was supposed to talk about because I haven't talked about it yet. And we're going on almost 2 hours. Whatever, man. Let me go on. Y'all talking too much crap. Alright, so yeah. What I was going to talk about is the legendary legends, right? And I was on some I was on some different boxing sites, listen to people chopping it up. And the first thing they talked about was Mike Tyson. Now, before y'all say anything, this is what they were saying. They were saying Mike Tyson in his prime was just incredible. You know, he should never have left. You know, after Gus died, Cus died, he should have stayed with, you know, the trainer that he was with. And he would have been great. And it was saying that, you know, because this guy was saying on his feed that, you know, people got these excuses about how Mike Tyson got old. But Lennox Lewis was dominating at the age of 37 and Foreman won the heavyweight championship at 45. So people was making excuses for that. And they were saying, you know, how the Tyson of 84 wasn't the same guy as the guy that faced Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. But if the guy from 87 had, he'd have beaten them. But a lot of people like to make fucking excuses. They talk about, how he was lost his focus and blah 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 blah. Listen, man. Looky here. These fans be talking some caca, okay? I'm gonna tell you why. Mike Tyson in the Catskill Mountains faced Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. Holyfield being cruiserweight, Tyson being a heavyweight. This was before the Olympics. All right? And Mike Tyson was knocking out every motherfucker that came in the Catskills to face him. He was knocking out people like they were bowling pins. And he was the bowling ball. And these two motherfuckers stayed in the ring, not only hung with him, but had Customato say, "Stop this fucking fight. You gonna face him later on." Okay? Customato realized this shit was for real. These guys was finding out Tyson's style, and they realized they was hanging with him, and he cut the thing immediately, realizing this motherfucker, he gonna get found out. I'm gonna argue this. It did not matter when in Tyson's career he faced Evander Holyfield or Lennox Lewis. And remember, Evander Holyfield was a cruiserweight at the time. Mike Tyson would have lost to those guys. It's just what it is. Because if he could knock them out in the Catskill Mountains, and they wasn't leaving the ring, and they was going with him, and they were hanging with him, that Customato got to pull him from the ring and say, "Hey, fuck this, shut down this shit. He gonna face them later on." I'm gonna tell you this. Tyson looked great in the 80s because he didn't face guys like those guys. Alright? Maybe you could argue, maybe, that he would have beaten Buster Douglas. People made a lot of excuses for him after he lost to Buster Douglas. So, here's what it is. But, for sure, he was never going to beat Evander Holyfield. Never. At any stage in his career. He never was going to beat him. He faced him twice, and he couldn't beat him. I'm saying. And all this talk about Lennox Lewis and all that stuff, they can say what they want. He was never going to beat Lennox Lewis either. And that's just what it is. So, people can say what they want about Mike Tyson. All right, how great he was and all of that. Customato was alive. And it was Customato that realized this shit getting for real. And he pulled Tyson from the fights with Evander Holyfield and with Lennox Lewis. He pulled him. Okay? So you know. I'm just saying. So all that other bullshit about Mike Tyson was old, Robert Gibbons messed with his mind, he was in prison, all that shit go out the window because he wasn't in prison at that time. He was young, he was strong, and he was a killer, but he wasn't a killer for those motherfuckers. He wasn't a killer for cruiserweight. He couldn't get that cruiserweight out of there. That cruiserweight was giving him the fits. And of course, Lennox Lewis just won a championship. And they told him about Mike Tyson, so he went up to spar. And Lennox said initially he was trying to box him like Muhammad Ali, and he realized that shit wasn't working. So he changed up his style. And when Customato saw what the fuck was going down, Customato pulled the fight, and he took Mike Tyson out of the ring. Yeah. Customato pulled Mike Tyson from the ring. Mike Tyson didn't stop Lennox Lewis. Mike Tyson had to stop fighting. Okay? So let me just let y'all guys know that so-called Iron Mike Tyson that was going through everybody was never going to go through Evander Holyfield, and he was never going to go through Lennox Lewis. This guy's always had his number. Alright? And so, y'all could jump high, could jump low, call Tyson the greatest thing ever since sliced bread, because he used to talk up a storm, and he used to intimidate guys. But at the end of the day, Mike Tyson was going to get his ass whooped by them guys. Prime Mike Tyson was amazing. I even go as far as to say Tyson would beat a prime Pacquiao. That's funny, man. Boxing Master. Boxing Monster says Tyson would destroy Lewis and Holyfield had he stayed focused and out of prison. I am Mike Tyson, the GOAT. You can say what you want, buddy. Like I said before, he didn't destroy them when it was up in the Catskill Mountains. So you could say that, you could preach that to the mountaintop. But see, there's facts out there. The focus Mike Tyson, the badass Mike Tyson was running through everybody in 87. That was the Mike Tyson they faced. And they was hanging with him. He didn't destroy shit. And he wasn't going to do shit to them. He wasn't going to do shit to Lennox. He wasn't going to do shit to Evander Holyfield. I can say that categorically. I think a prime Mike Tyson would outstrength and demolish Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. I know that seems controversial, but I stick by it. Duh. Oh man, you so stupid. You be saying some real clown stuff these days. Of course, you know, Tyson hated the Catskill Mountains. He was out of his element. What the fuck are you talking about? Now you sounding real. You guys are clowning. You guys are straight up clowning right now. I think you beat Catskill. Y'all straight up clowning right now. Oh my God. Oh man, y'all are clowning. Anyway, that's what I was watching people defending Mike Tyson and going in. And you know, it's just so funny. Casket kill. I just realized that's what he spelled. I was looking at Catskill as casket kill. Oh my God. Oh, y'all are so silly. But it's true though. A lot of people back Mike Tyson. You know who is a big Mike Tyson fan? He's a huge Mike Tyson fan. Showbiz the adult. He thinks Mike Tyson would have beaten Floyd Mayweather if they were the same size. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people think that Floyd Mayweather would get beat by a lot of people, but I'm just saying. And again, I understand. I understand where they're coming from. Trust me, I understand where they're coming from. They're fans, so they would believe that. But Mike Tyson, I mean, he got beat by some people he shouldn't have gotten beat by, but that's all right. But on top of that, he also got beat by guys who were legitimate dudes. They were real dudes. Don King was the best thing that ever happened to Tyson's career. He was able to marinate the Holyfield and Lewis fight and make Tyson lots of money and got him his best victory. McNeely and Bruno. Oh my God, you guys are just killing me right now. Hey, you gotta admit though, that Razor Ruddock fight was great. That was a hell of a fight. Boxing Monster says, I don't think Tyson can beat Chavez Jr. Crazy. Chavez Jr. So, I don't think Tyson can beat Chavez Sr. Crazy. Chavez Jr. would beat Lewis. But Chavez was a weed head. Yo guys be talking straight crap right now. All right, let me go on to the other topic. So the other topic is really funny. But we're talking about legends in the sport of boxing. And I always like to talk about Pernell Whitaker as well. McNeely was 42-0 in his prime when he faced Tyson. And Tyson came off a 4-year lane better than any Mayweather victory, in my opinion. This is true. This is true. Oh my God. Tyson versus Bone Crusher was a classic bump. Ali versus Strader. Bone Crusher was good too. Yeah. I think Tyson versus Razor Ruddock. Tyson versus Bone Crusher Smith. Tyson versus there are 3 credible fights I gave him. Really good fights, man. I can't remember it right now, but it was a good fucking fight. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, Mike Tyson. Those are the fights I give him credit for. The other fights, yeah, I mean, he racked up the belts. I give him that. Spinks, I give him credit. No, Spinks had an injured leg, man. Spinks had an injured leg going into that fight. Charles Martin or Mike Tyson? Who wins? What? That's some whack ass shit. Tyson wipes Charles Martin's ass. He cleans the floor with him, man. Spiggs got a gift against Holmes. The first fight, yeah. Cause Holmes was bold in that he gonna break Rock, he gonna match Rocky Marciano's record. They fucked him over. Is what it is. I'm trying to remember what the other legend I was gonna talk about. It's three topics I wanted to talk about. The fight fans talk about. Oh, all right. So the other one is a popular one. Tyson versus Usyk. Who you got? Tyson. Usyk's not a heavyweight. Usyk's not a heavyweight. So any heavyweight that don't respect Usyk's power, just walk him down and beat him up. Chisora versus Usyk would be a good fight because Chisora will be up in his face, up in his grill. Usyk will have to pivot around him. Michael Hunter versus Usyk too would be a good one too. Those are good fights for him. But Chisora is a big, strong guy, so if Chisora starts bullying him, it could be a problem. Cooney had a hard left hook, so I think he would beat Ali inside of 2. Jerry Cooney? Didn't Ali beat Jerry Cooney's ass? Boxing Monster. I was talking about Tank Davis. Tank Davis. What about Tank Davis? I didn't see the comment. I know, it'd be a rematch. Tank Davis. What about Tank Davis? You mean Tyson versus Usyk being Tank Davis? You know what? Since we're there, Canelo versus Usyk, who wins? Canelo versus Usyk. There you go. If Canelo wants a heavyweight fight, that's a fight he should face. Usyk or Michael Hunter. If you want to go all the way up to heavyweight, those are the two guys. Michael Hunter could fight though. Canelo takes Wilder at 168. Yeah, sure, absolutely. What are you gonna do? Make Wilder into a skeleton? The man's already skinny. First of all, can he make 168? I don't think he can make 168. He's like 230, 215, 220 pounds. That motherfucker can't make 168. Come on now. Canelo takes Wilder at heavyweight. Yeah, if you give him sleeping pills, you gotta put Wilder to sleep. He ain't taking shit. Come on, man. He ain't gonna get stopped. Wilder's not gonna stop him, but shit, I don't think he's gonna stop him at least. But I think that Canelo, he's not gonna beat Wilder. That's a little too much to overcome. You're talking about a guy that's physically strong. I mean, he real strong. And then on top of that, he got power. And on top of that, he knows how to box on the outside, on the inside. Wilder got good defense on the inside. He got all-around game. That's a little too much for Canelo. But, like, I could see him facing, like, a Usyk. Usyk don't have no heavyweight power and strength. He's a cruiserweight, though, so he's a lot bigger. Michael Hunter. Who else? I can't even say Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker's a heavyweight. But, I could see Canelo, like, if he got to fight a heavyweight, he got to fight a small heavyweight. You know who else he could face? Who's a heavyweight as well? And he hasn't had a fight in a while, though. The kid that faced Vladimir Klitschko. I'm gonna find him for you. I'm going to find him. Hold on a second. Eddie Chambers. Eddie Chambers versus Canelo. It's still going to be a hard fight for Canelo because Eddie Chambers is so much bigger than him. But Eddie Chambers versus Canelo will be a good fight. And Eddie Chambers can box. That would be a good fight for Canelo. John Ruiz. John Ruiz is like, what, 100 years old now? I think Arthur Spilker could beat AJ, to be honest. I don't know. I can't say. He's a tough guy, though. Canelo versus Ruiz. John Ruiz? John Ruiz is ancient. Canelo versus Lennox Lewis. What the fuck? May 2020? Lennox is not going to take that fight. Lennox Lewis was saying, y'all talking mismatches now. But, yeah. But, you know, I get the joke. I get the joke. Because Lennox Lewis is a legend, right? But he's way past his prime. He's actually retired. I get it. John Ruiz deserves to watch us sleep at night. How boring he was. He was like Klitschko. Punch, clinch, clinch, punch. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So anyway, going back to what I was saying. So this guy put up Mayweather versus Sugar Ray Leonard. We heard this like forever. So a lot of people are saying Sugar Ray Leonard by murder and Sugar Ray Leonard by KO. And I'm like, I decided to put forward this question. I'm going to ask you guys the same question. Don't clown now. Be serious with me. Sweet Pea Pernell Whitaker versus Sugar Ray Leonard. Who you got winning? At welterweight. Let me hear you guys' answers. Pernell Whitaker versus Sugar Ray Leonard. Let me see what you guys say about that. And if you got to think about it to answer me, then this is not even a discussion concerning Floyd Mayweather versus Sugar Ray Leonard. So if you have to think about it and you can't give me an answer, XXX Raw 2013 XXS Pernell. Fuck yeah. Boxing Monster says, I got Sugar Ray. No stipulations from the money team. No, I'm talking about versus Pernell Whitaker. We're not going to talk about Floyd because everybody always feels Floyd could get beat, right? We're talking about Pernell Whitaker because I'm going to say this, and I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Pernell Whitaker would beat every single fucking fighter in history, in my opinion. He had the skills to beat every single fucking fighter in history. You can go from the beginning of boxing all the way back. He gonna beat everybody's ass, including Floyd Mayweather's ass, at least once. That's how highly esteemed I rate Pernell Whitaker. Okay, when you talk about all-time greats, this guy was that. All right, he didn't get the decision on fights he should have gotten. Okay, he should have got the decision against Oscar De La Hoya. Should have got the decision against Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. He should have got the decision against Jose Ramirez the first time he boxed the socks off of him. He never got those decisions. Against Felix Trinidad, he lost that fight. Fair enough. But he was trying to knock out Felix Trinidad. I don't know why he thought that, but he was rolling with Felix Trinidad trying to knock his ass out, right? That's what it was. Pernell Whitaker lost his last fight to a Mexican dude because his collarbone got broken. Okay? I don't know if it was by a punch or whatever, but he couldn't continue. So, that's it with Sweet Pea. Okay? This motherfucker, Sweet Pea, was one of the baddest motherfuckers I've ever seen in boxing. He had everything. He had power, too. He had brittle hands like Floyd. But if he put it on you, he put it on you. Okay? I don't think Sugar Ray Leonard would have beaten Pernell Whitaker, period. Point blank, period. I don't think so. Because Whitaker's defense was just too much for Sugar Ray Leonard. Leonard would have looked like an ass, throwing punches and missing like shit. And Whitaker just be watching him, clowning his ass. Okay? That's what I really, truly believe. There was a point where Felix Trinidad, the guy that beat Pernell Whitaker, threw a hail of punches in the corner and did not land one punch on Pernell Whitaker. That's how good this motherfucker was. Okay? And if you ask me what Floyd's toughest fight be, would have been Pernell Whitaker. In recent history, it would be Pernell Whitaker. Because there's no fucking way Floyd was having an easy time locating Pernell and hitting him. Now, I heard in sparring that he got a better Pernell Whitaker when he was younger, but I still seriously believe he learned a lot in that fight. Pernell taught him a lot. But nonetheless, I'm going to say this. It would never have been an easy fight, Pernell Whitaker versus Floyd Mayweather. I first thought Floyd's resume was better than Leonard, but when I realized Ray Leonard faced Bruce Finch, props to Leonard for taking that fight. Yeah, it was a tough fight for him. You know, Bruce Finch put him down. Oh, come on, man. Y'all talking a lot of shit now. Boxing Monster says Sweet Pea can't beat Adrian Broner. Dog, you talking reckless. That's funny, man. Intangible Boxing says this is Blaze Hurtado was beaten Whitaker until Pernell Nelly killed him in 11. Sugar Ray Duck Pryor. He was the only one I take versus Sugar Ray. Aaron Pryor, boy, that was a beast. That was a beast. He was like Pacquiao, something like Aaron Pryor. Yeah, Pacquiao, something like Aaron Pryor. They like to fight. Intangible Boxer says, I think Muhammad Ali would have beaten Ray Leonard, to be honest. Intangible Boxer says, Ray Leonard ducked a whole bunch of dudes. Intangible Boxer said, Ray Leonard didn't want to fight Mike McCallum. Yeah, he was supposed to face Mike McCallum. Hearns was supposed to face Mike McCallum. And I think Duran was supposed to face Mike McCallum. He ended up facing Hagler, I think. It went up in weight to face Hagler. Ain't nobody want to face Mike McCallum. They was ducking him like crazy. They ducked Mike McCallum and they ducked Aaron Pryor. Yeah, for sure. Aaron Pryor was supposed to face. It's crazy, man. Boxing is a crazy thing. Yeah, he was using, I think, cocaine. Like Leonard. Yeah, he was on drugs. James Toney all day, every day would have beat Marvin Hagler. All fucking day. Mike McCallum versus Hagler at 160. Mike McCallum all day, every day. I like Marvin Hagler and all of that, but after I watched how Ray Leonard handled him, he'd get dusted by James Toney. Because James Toney was a wizard on the inside, and Mike McCallum beat James Toney in their first bout, in my opinion. Mike McCallum would have tagged him up to the body. James Toney, Hagler would be looking for punches. If James Toney couldn't find Mike McCallum, how the fuck Hagler was gonna find Mike McCallum? Come on now. Come on, man. Y'all serious? Are y'all serious? Aaron Pryor would have knocked the coke out of Ray Leonard's nose. For sure. If think about this, right? If Duran could have given Leonard that kind of fight, right? Duran. Aaron Pryor would have given Sugar Ray Leonard the fits. Because the difference is Duran, he don't really go get you like how Aaron Pryor would go get you. And he could take some. He could take a punch too. You know. Boxing Monster say, yeah, Marvin has that clean right guard commercials. Intangible Boxing. Who was the dude in the Old Spice commercials? I can't remember. But yeah, so in my opinion, you know, you talking about Mike McCallum, you gotta give him some respect. You know what I'm saying? Suleiman Mbe beat him, but he went back and beat Suleiman Mbe later on. I mean, this motherfucker was damn near 40, and he was dominating the light heavyweight division. Some crazy shit. He was still a champion at 40, Mike McCallum. Okay? Because of his defense, of course. Faced Roy Jones Jr. and all of that shit. Boxing Monster said it was marvelous. I guess Marvin Hagler. He did it all, like Terry Crews. Marvin Hagler was a hell of a fighter, don't get me wrong. It's just that I think that he was blue collar too, hard working. I just think that there's certain guys he just wouldn't have beaten. You know, if he faced a Roy Jones Jr., Roy's just too fucking fast for him. Roy would have made him look ordinary. Might have even dropped him. You know. Did you have Leonard beating Hagler? Yeah. We did the live commentary. You can go and look at the video with the fight. Did I do it round by round or I did it live? I can't remember. I did some rounds by rounds and then I did it live. Yeah. Yeah, he beat him. I had him. We scored it. This time it was 9 rounds to 3. Or something like that. It was. I had 8 rounds to 4 first time and 9 rounds to 3. Yeah, Marvin Hagler was just too fucking slow for Sugar Ray. Look, Sugar Ray was doing whatever the fuck he wanted to do with him. He was taking some punishment, don't get me wrong. Hagler was working that fucking body, but, you know, he couldn't cut off the ring. Leonard was fighting his fight. Leonard got so comfortable, he stayed in the pocket with Hagler, trading and shit, because he was just that much faster than Hagler. It was like Roadrunner, you know? Just way too fast for Hagler. He was like stepping around him, all kinds of shit. Even Hagler's corner was telling him, you know, he had to have big rounds because he wasn't doing that well. Boxing Monster said, I had Taylor versus Reggie's a draw, and Taylor just survived in the end. Yeah, man, he got his ass beat in the 11th and 12th. He put it on Reggie's in the 10th though, and in the 7th and 6th. Bloodied up his nose in the 6th. Put it on him in the 7th, and he put it on him in the 10th. The 9th was pretty competitive. And then Reggie came back hard in the 11th and 12th. Came back hard in the 11th and 12th. Regis, sorry. Rougarou. I like Rougarou, man. He a fan favorite for me now. And Rougarou, you can see Rougarou carrying himself. He knew he won that fight. He knew he won that fight. He knew he put it on Taylor, too. You know, because even after the fight, Taylor's the guy talking to him and, you know, just very grateful and very happy. He just kind of, and Regis just be there cool as a cucumber, taking it in. He cool as a cucumber. And he's cool with saying he's number 2 instead of number 1 because he know he put it on Taylor. He said he's looking forward to the rematch sometime in the future. You know he going to beat his ass the next time. Even more comprehensively because he's going to go back and work on his head movement. It's not his head movement. It's just not protecting his head in time. Can't be taking so many shots to the head, though. You know. I think he even got a little cut over his eye, too. Left or right? I can't remember which one. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So, yeah. So here's what I tried to explain to people. If you thought that, if you even have to pause to think about Pernell Whitaker beating Floyd, because I think he would have beaten Floyd too, at least one at some point. If they had 3 fights, he definitely would get 1. He might even have gotten 2. But because people just don't understand what Whitaker does in that ring. You know, it's his footwork that makes it so difficult to get to him. He do some real weird shit. I'm gonna break it down sometime. I think I did once. But if that is the case, where you know Whitaker would beat Sugar Ray Leonard, which I pretty much believe that, then it goes without saying that Floyd would beat Sugar Ray Leonard. Now I started breaking it down that Floyd has a better defense than Sugar Ray Leonard. He just does. You know, Whitaker has a better defense than Sugar Ray Leonard as well. And that's the deciding factor. Because when you have a good defense or you have a great defense, people can't hit you. They can't get to you and score, but you could get to them. And that's the difference. I explained that Sugar Ray had power, he had size, he had reach, he had length, he had all the physical advantages. But as we see, that shit didn't mean nothing because Reggie's Prograis was able to still land his body punches, get his shots off on Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor could not box him on the outside. He had to come on the inside and use his size to try and push Regis along. And even when he was using his size, Regis was still negating that and still landing his body punches. So those advantages, those physical advantages don't mean shit if you know you're boxing. You know how to box, how to position yourself in the ring and shit like that. You know what Josh Taylor got his advantage with? He was able to rough house just enough Regis, at least in certain rounds like 6 and 7, just enough to get Regis off balance so he could throw his shots on him. Regis started picking up on that. He made an adjustment in the 8th, and then in the 11th and 12th, he just started beating him down because he had wearing him down enough to the body. Taylor's a strong guy. But back to what I was saying. Floyd has a better defense than Sugar Ray Leonard. This is not something I'm saying. This is something his trainer, Roger Mayweather, was saying. And that's the big deciding factor. Because, as Troy King would say, Eric Bradley would say, Barry Robinson would say, defense wins you fights. In fact, in almost any sport that's combative, defense wins you the championships. It's the better defensive teams. If you remember, the Chicago Bulls was a great defensive team when Michael Jordan was there. The New York Knicks was a great defensive team. You look at the greatest football teams, American football, they're great defensive teams generally. They're not great offensive teams, right? A lot of people focus on the flattering things such as offense and ignore the less flattering thing, which is defense. And it gets so unflattering. One of the most unflattering things in the world is seeing a guy block a punch. Okay? He didn't get out the way of the punch. He didn't dip. Or he didn't slip. Or he didn't bob and weave. Or he didn't, snap back from the punch and look all fancy. He just blocked the punch. Blocked the punch. Right? It's not glamorous. But it's effective. If you can't touch me, then guess what? And I can touch you, then I can win a fight. Just off of that. You can't hurt me if you can't touch me. So power don't mean shit if you can't use it. Speed don't mean shit if you can't time it. So part of defense is your rhythm. If a guy can pick up on your rhythm, pick up on patterns that you do, then he can time you, then he can land. All right? If he can't pick up on patterns that you're doing, he can't time you, he can't land. Defense. Defense wins you fights. Defense. Defense wins you fights. Right? So, guys like Sugar Ray Leonard, combinational fighters, smart fighters. Leonard tried to pick up on patterns. He picked up on patterns of Floyd Mayweather Sr. Floyd Mayweather Sr. did not do the shoulder roll properly. He would not lean back, keep his lead foot out. So what Leonard realized is I could throw overhand rights and catch him on the top of the head. I'm going to start hooking him on the top of his head. That's how he figured out Floyd Mayweather Sr. Floyd Mayweather Sr. would stay in the pocket way too fucking long. Throwing off combinations and then shelling up. That's all he did. He didn't use no high guard. He didn't change levels. He didn't use a wide stance. He just stood in front of you with a shell. That was about it. So Leonard realized that, sidestepped him, stepped around him, started ripping left hooks to his body and ripping left hooks to his head. He'd sidestep him. And he would punish him. When he tried to shell up, he would shell up, with the normal shell, the 2-guard shell against the ropes. He would square up on the ropes. And Leonard would go off to the side and bang on his guard. Bang, 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 bang on his guard. Until he beat the guard down, and he beat him. That's how he did it. Start catching him with left hooks and stuff. Okay? Because Floyd Mayweather Sr. had speed, but he got no fucking power. Had no power to do anything to Leonard. So, but still, Leonard had to be wary because he was so fast. Fast speed is power, you know what I'm saying? So, he had a difficult time with Floyd Mayweather Sr. trying to find him. If he had such a difficult time with Floyd Mayweather Sr. trying to find him, if he had a difficult time imposing his size and will on Roberto Duran in the first fight, I'm telling you, because the people talk about the bigger, stronger guy, the bigger guy, weight class will win. That's not the case. Floyd went through multiple weight classes. Canelo went through multiple weight classes. Oscar De La Hoya went through multiple weight classes. Them guys bigger, stronger than him, got sometimes comparable skill set to him. He's still beating them. Why? Because What you guys are not understanding, and you have not understood yet, is there's something called defense. And defense, incorporated in your offense, makes you unbeatable. Makes you unbeatable. If you're doing the right things, you're not going to get beat. And that's the problem with Floyd. He always came in 100%, and he always came in with defense. Always thinking defense. So it's very hard for Sugar Ray Leonard to win a fight against Floyd. Even with all the flurries and shit he's going to be doing, he's going to be missing a lot of punches. And Floyd would counter his ass. And once he counters him, Sugar Ray Leonard's going to close up. He's not going to just keep on going because it'll wear him down. Because where Floyd go? Surgically to different parts of the body. He surgically go to the liver. Surgically go to your breadbasket. Surgically go to your solar plexus. Surgically go to your spleen. Right? He's very surgical with the shit he does. And he would dissect Leonard if Leonard even made one fucking mistake. Alright? He not faster than Leonard. Leonard got faster hands. That's why Leonard picked Pacquiao initially to beat Floyd. He's not faster than him. He's not longer than him. He's not taller than him. He's probably not even as big as him. He's probably comparatively as strong as he is. But he's not as big as him. Leonard is a 154 pounder. That was in welterweight. Floyd's not a 154 pounder. So he would have been bigger, stronger, faster, for sure. Maybe even pack a harder punch. But that shit is not enough to beat a guy who knows defense and who understands boxing more than the other guy. And Floyd knows boxing better than Leonard. It's just what it is. Leonard wasn't boxing since he was a baby. Floyd was. So the shit that Floyd could do, Leonard just can't. Right? Leonard don't move like how Floyd moves. Floyd uses pivots to move. Leonard bounce around the ring or does wide pivots. Floyd can do close pivots. He can do inside pivots. 180-degree pivots, 60-degree, 45-degree, 90-degree pivots. Y'all don't even know what I'm talking about, do you? So he can do those kinds of things. He's not an in-and-out fighter like Leonard. Leonard comes straight line in and out. He feint and then he double jab and he come in. Floyd don't need no fucking jab to come in. Floyd use feints. He use shoulder feints. Shoulder feint you, slide in. Sometimes he slide in. Sometimes he shuffle in. Off an angle. Like Roy Jones Jr., he use feints. Feint you one way, do another thing. Leonard don't know that shit. He don't know about that stuff. Okay? Leonard only know how to foot feint you. He foot feint you and double pump. As if he's going to come in like Pacquiao do. That's basic. I'm just saying. Because a lot of you guys don't know how to break it down. I can break the shit down so you guys understand the difference. Alright? There's a difference. There's a difference with a guy who's been boxing since he's a baby and a guy who started boxing when he was 10, 8. Here's the difference. Okay? And I know everybody like to hate on Floyd and say that you get beat by this guy and that guy, but it's just a difference, folks. And it's just a difference. And whether you believe it or not, he that good. But then again, so was Pernell Whitaker. I want to see Ramirez versus Taylor. I think Taylor could beat Ramirez. Taylor got all-around game. He can fight on the inside. He can fight on the outside. He got all-around game. I think he can beat Ramirez. He can't afford to be taking them black eyes, man. What did the Reggies tell him? If you go on fucking up like that, I'm going to mess up your eye. Didn't he mess up his eye? He promised him that. I think Ramirez should face Taylor because they didn't face each other. I don't understand how Taylor made it to the finals and he didn't face Ramirez. Boxing Monster said Floyd didn't beat Castillo. Talking reckless again. Y'all funny, man. Which Castillo is that? On which fight are you talking about? The first one or the second one? You know, the detractors always say that he didn't beat Castillo, but we all know he beat Castillo. That's up to you guys if you guys don't believe that. He beat Castillo, for sure. It was a much more competitive fight though. The first one. The second one was once it reached round 10, Floyd took over. Castile gave up. It was competitive up to the 10th. I believe in the second one. The guy I thought that gave Floyd the best fight out of all of the fights is Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto. You know, Marcos Maidana gave him a nice rough and rugged fight, but I thought Cotto was his toughest challenge to this day. And even though he got a unanimous decision win, and he almost, he had Cotto in trouble in the 12th, I thought that Cotto was the guy that put it on him. Bust up his nose, bust up his face. Yeah, Cotto. I would have loved to see a rematch with Cotto. I mean, Cotto is the dude. Floyd had a lot of respect for Cotto. He should have. That's the dude I thought that gave him his toughest fight. Manuel Burton was good when he's on the up and coming, but I'm talking about if you want to know somebody who would put Floyd through the mill again, it would have been Miguel Cotto, I believe. Floyd, they no way Floyd, you got to fight Cotto. Cotto's a dude he makes you fight him. He makes you fight him. You can't box Cotto. And I thought that was Floyd's toughest fight. That was legitimately, I thought it was a closer fight than the scorecard said. That was legitimately his toughest fight, in my opinion. I didn't think Oscar De La Hoya did much shit. Marcos Maidana was I loved it. It was rough and rugged. Marcos Maidana, man, that was a rough and rugged fight. So that element was in there. The first Castillo fight was good. It was good. Second Castillo fight was good too. Don't get it twisted. It was competitive. But in terms of toughest fight I think Floyd ever had, I think it's Cotto. And it looked tough. And Floyd's the guy that tried to make fights look easy, but that fight was tough. XX Raw 2013 XX. Floyd's foot feints when he fought Pac was masterclass. Yeah, but Floyd literally walked. I try to explain to people he do a lot of feinting with his entire body. Like he feints with his shoulders, he feints with his hands, he feints with his eyes, he feints with his feet. Yeah. He feints with his upper torso. What I mean by that is he turns his torso as if he's going to throw a punch, but he doesn't. He just steps with it. Like he does all these things, and it's almost subliminal for him. He doesn't even realize he's doing all that shit. I think he picked it up off of Roy. Roy does a lot of body feints, like a whole bunch of feints. So Roy doesn't need to throw the jab because he'd be like feinting as if he's going to throw something all the time. I think if Floyd had rematched Cotto, Floyd would have fought a different fight similar to Maidana too, in my opinion. Nah, you can't do that. You can't fight a different fight against Cotto. Cotto always gonna make you fight. Cotto got a good fucking jab to start with, so you're gonna back up Floyd. And then the second thing about it is, Cotto gonna get you in the corner. Because Cotto dirty. He like rough and rugged. Like Cotto will hit you with his shins. He will hit you on the hip. He gonna elbow you. He gonna shoulder you. He's just big, rough, and rugged. Floyd would have thrown more uppercuts. But Cotto's a physical dude. Tangible Boxing says, dude, you still streaming? Yes, sir. Cotto was tagging Manny up in their fight. People don't realize that. Yeah, he was hitting Manny with some shit. Problem with him is if he wasn't weight drained, he'd probably make it way past the 12th. Because it's the 12th round, I think Pacquiao stopped him, 11 on 12. But Cotto is a bad motherfucker, man. This motherfucker would fight to the death. He put it all out in the ring, and he's a bruiser. Like you saw what he did to Zab Judah. He'll hit you with low blows. I mean, Cotto do it everything. He do everything to win. You know, he a bruiser. You know, and so I mean, and he comes with that intensity, man. He comes with that intensity. He ready to beat your ass down. Even when he's in the higher weight classes, where he's just this little dude, you know, he still come with that fucking intensity, and he's so pinpoint accurate with his shots. You know, and remember, Cotto's strongest arm is his jabbing arm, and sometimes he just goes southpaw on your ass and be tagging you up, so he can switch from orthodox to southpaw. He just switch it. He's a unique kind of guy. I really like Cotto. A lot of people started giving him stick for having Sergio Martinez come down and weight to face him. They gave him stick for the Daniel Gill fight, but he wasn't a middleweight. He was a small dude. He's a small dude. He never really was Canelo. Canelo bigger than him. Canelo being 175 for a minute. If you remember the Alfredo Angulo fight, I think Canelo came in 173. I think Angulo came in 174 on fight night. Canelo being 175 for a while. He had middleweight for the longest while. So he walk around by 175. He come in fight night at 175. So him doing 175 is not going to be a problem. He probably 175, 180. He just don't have to lose the weight. He be training like a motherfucker, eating like a motherfucker. He should be happy. Because that's what you train at. You lose the weight like with the WBC. I think you lose weight in weeks. But if you have some other belt, you lose weight. Most people try to lose weight. You know, if you got to lose 25 pounds or 15 pounds or 10 pounds, you lose it by water mass. You just dehydrate yourself. You make the weight on the scale and you rehydrate back. People don't know that shit. So it's like you train and everything at your fighting weight, not at the scale weight, because then you'll hurt yourself. You know, Oscar De La Hoya hurt himself in sparring because when he was going to face Pacquiao, because he was trying to make weight, which was ridiculous. The kind of weight he had to try and make was just ridiculous. So Canelo's going to come in there healthy. He's probably going to have more energy. So he's going to have more stamina and everything because he coming in there. He don't have to lose no fucking weight, nothing like that. So he going to be at his best. That's contrary to what other people are saying. They don't see that because they're not thinking, oh, this guy's really a natural 175 pounder. But he fights at 154. He fought at 160. So to make weight, you know. But on fight night, you get the truth. The truth is on fight night, these guys coming in 175. These guys coming in 160, 165. Canelo on fight night facing Floyd was 165. That's way back in 2013. So obviously, he's much bigger than that now. When he faced Erislandy Lara, Erislandy was 170.3. He was 171, 172. When he faced Angulo, he was 173. Angulo was 174.5. So by the time he faces Triple G, and then he faced Danny Jacobs, he probably 175, 180. So I mean, he good. He come in on fight night, he coming in 175 to 180. That's normal. It's not gonna be a problem. So a lot of people saying, oh, he's gonna be sluggish. And no, he's gonna be Canelo. He's gonna be the usual Canelo. He's gonna look a little faster than Sergey Kovalev because he can come up from a lower weight class, so he might be faster than him. He may not be faster than him. It doesn't matter. He's not counting on speed. He's counting on his boxing IQ and defense and just what how he gets his movement and stuff. So it doesn't really matter. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So, yeah. So these are some of the things I just like to break down with people because, again, people feel I'm this big Floyd fan and all of that. Don't get me wrong. I put out the thing, Floyd Mayweather TBE. I think Floyd's the best ever that ever did it for the moment. I think there are a lot of guys that are going to surpass him. A lot of guys have already started to accomplish things more than he has early in his career. So, this is great to see these guys there. Shakur Stevenson's already accomplished something better than Floyd has ever done, earlier at least. Gervonta Davis. We're getting younger and younger guys. Devin Haney. They winning championships very early in their careers. So, and then we got all these young fighters facing one another, and they are doing some great things. You don't have to be undefeated to surpass Floyd. You just is who you face, who you beat, that kind of shit. Canelo be doing some crazy shit. There's a lot of guys doing crazy shit in boxing, right? We had Usyk unifying. We had Terrence Crawford unifying. We had Katie Taylor unifying. We had Clarissa Shields. Don't, we can't leave out the women now. Clarissa Shields unifying, right? We are 4 undisputed champions right now. By the way, it seems as though Clarissa Shields is going to join PBC to face her next opponent. So we got fucking 4 undisputed world champions. That's incredible. Okay, Josh Taylor may be the 5th. So this is a blooming year. This is a blooming time where people are doing all kinds of shit right now. Okay, we got BWF becoming unified champion. We got a bunch of unified champions. We got Josh Taylor becoming a unified champion. Errol Spence is a unified champion. Help me out here, people. The different weight classes. We got a lot of good things happening in boxing. Let's not get it twisted. Lomachenko's unified world champion. He might be the next undisputed. Maybe 6 of them. I mean, some crazy shit going on, man, in boxing, and you got to enjoy it. You got to embrace it. Shakur Stevenson might look for a unification. We got Jamar Herring looking for a unification at super featherweight, maybe against Berchelt. I mean, this is looking good. This is some good shit. We got Terran Farmer up in there. I mean, come on now. You got to look at it. This is a great time in boxing, but it's just that a lot of people can't see that. And they're always looking at the past as if the past was a great thing. Like, they're going to look at Floyd Mayweather like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. No, man, motherfucker. There are a lot of guys out there going to surpass him. And it looked like it might happen in this generation even, which is good. We want to see that happen. You got the Devin Haney's, the John Vontae Davises, the Lomachenkos, the Usyks, the Tyson Furies, the Deontay Wilders, the Berchelts. I mean, the Josh Taylors, the Regis Prograis, the Terrence Crawfords, the Errol Spences. We got we got some really good names out here, man, with a lot of the Canelos. We got all these young people. Canelo's a fucking veteran. He isn't even 30 yet. You know what I'm saying? We got to think about this shit and be like, man, boxing really got some good shit going on. Going on 3 hours here, people. But bear with me. We even got this Taiwanese dude. What's his name? Wenyan Menyethan. I think he's 54-0 now. The motherfucker be doing it. Okay? He's not facing real big names yet. He's not unifying and shit, but he be doing it. He represented the WBC, 54-0. You gotta look at that and be like, man, that's crazy. We got a lot of shit going on in this era that's just phenomenal. And you gotta bear these shit in mind because these guys are doing phenomenal things. All right? So, we don't just be looking at Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao era. Their era's gone. You know what I'm saying? We look forward to the future now. And look at the great things that happen in boxing right now and appreciate the boxers right now in history. That's what we need to do. When boxing's coming back alive, we got boxing everywhere. Man, Anyway, another topic I want to talk about in terms of legends. I'm trying to remember what it was. It'll come to me. We're going almost on 3 hours, right? That's cool. We can talk boxing all day. The last topic I want to talk about is, let me see if I can remember what it was. It'll come to me. Yeah, but anyway, in the meantime, yeah, like my topic was legendary fighters and what the fans do not understand. So that's why I'm going through it. I had one more topic I had to talk about in terms of that. I just can't remember what it was. Oh, okay. Right. Well, I was in the debate with the Kovalev versus Canelo thing. I think I talked about that already. So I actually covered all the topics. But I just wanted to say to you guys that if you guys can think of any other things you want me to do, I do want to go through the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder fight. So I will try and do that breakdown as soon as we can. Tangible Boxing says, we got JLX streaming if you want to roast him. Oh, he's streaming right now. Who is Jalik anyway? You guys got to send me the feed if you want to put this feed in, and probably in this live stream. But anyway, yeah. Any other topics you guys want to talk about in boxing is cool. But the Deontay Wilder versus Jalik the leader. Okay, man. I'm gonna type that in. Um, what did I say? Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. That fight, I want to be able to break that fight down as well. I may have to use another website for that. Okay, and I may do also um, a breakdown of the same Regis Prograis versus Josh Taylor. Oh, that's the topic, so I want to talk about. I'll talk about it in a minute. Yeah, Regis Prograis versus Josh Taylor fight, where you can actually see what I was talking about. You know, so I may do that over as well. But in the meantime, let me just talk about. That was the last topic. I wanted to just rehash some of the past fights because I didn't talk about the weekend fights, all of them. Cool. So yeah, let me get to that. Okay. So I did look at them. I looked at the Chisora versus David Price fight. And this is why I say reach and height and size don't mean shit. You might watch a guy dwarfing the other guy, but Derek Chisora was able to do what he wanted to do, which was get on the inside and fight David Price. David Price was not able to keep him on the outside, and so he caught him with an uppercut, knocked his ass out, right? Correct? Okay. I watched at the Robert Easter versus Adrian Granados fight. Jalik is a new age zealot. He's emotional, squat when he pees, and wipes from the front. Oh my god. I need some rest. 3 hours of sleep in the last 2 days. Bro, go to sleep. 1 day. Okay. Go to sleep, man. Take a rest. Robert Easter versus Adrian Granados. Man, Robert Easter looked good in that fight. I'm not gonna lie. Sharp as a fucking tack. Adrian Granados looked slow. He did get his shots in, but like Robert Easter was just tagging him up a lot. So yeah, Robert Easter won that fight. Looked good in that fight. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We already talked about Shakur Stevens versus Joet Gonzalez. Derek Chisora versus David Price. Like I said, basically Derek Chisora knocked his ass out. Bunny Easter, took that. Yeah. You call him Bunny Easter? Why you call him that? But anyway, yeah. Robert Easter Jr., man, he did great. Erickson Lubin versus Nathaniel Gallimore. I thought Lubin dominated that fight. I thought he oh, that's a childhood nickname? Okay, cool. I thought that Erickson Lubin took that fight. He looked good in the fight. Nathaniel Gallimore was talking about how, he's more than a puncher and all of that, but Lubin looked good. He looked improved. He looked better. I think him being with Cunningham is a good thing. So we'll see how that goes. We already talked about Wenyan Maniothan, also known as Chaya Fun Moonshri. He beat Simpiwi Konko. We already talked about the Justin Taylor versus Regis Prograis in much detail. So that was basically it for the weekend fights. I'm trying to think. Anybody else? No. 68 Scrapbook. Ode to Wisdom was talking about this new fighter we need to look at on a card over this weekend coming up. Forgot what her name is. So you should watch for her. I didn't see her in the thing. Lee Selby outboxed Ricky Burns. It was a close fight. Ricky Burns cried at the end of it because he lost, but it was a split decision. I think lost to Lee Selby. Lee Selby, as usual, smooth as silk. Do his thing. You know what I'm saying? I think Lee Selby only lost. He has one loss in his whole entire career, or it's 2 losses. Okay. He got outboxed by Josh Warrington. It was a split decision loss. Tough on that for the IBF title. Lee Selby's a good boxer. I always knew that. And I think he lost to some other guy early in his career. Okay. So Josh Warrington beat Lee Selby. Josh Warrington also beat, I believe, Carl Frampton. I think he dropped him too, if I'm not mistaken. And Josh Warrington's another incredible fighter. He's 30-0, 7 KOs, big strong guy. Um, he got a split decision win over Kid Gallahan. He got a unanimous decision over Carl Frampton, and he won the title off of Lee Selby. So that's some incredible shit right there. Those three names are, names in fucking England, in the UK. He's been beating UK fighters. He's yet to face somebody from overseas that's credible, but he also beat Kiko Martinez, but everybody beat Kiko Martinez. So those are the names so far in his career in his 30 fights. I don't really know the other people. I mean, he's doing his thing, man. What I like about it, Shakur Stevenson's willing to face him and unify, and I would love to see that shit. I would love to see that shit. So make it happen, people. Warrington's faced classy guys like Lee Selby and beat them. He's also faced classy guys like Carl Frampton and beat them. So can Shakur Stevenson beat Josh Warrington, seeing that Josh Warrington has experience facing good boxers, southpaws, and all of that shit? I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, so Lee Selby beat Ricky Burns, boy. Ricky Burns don't want to hang up the gloves yet, so we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, so those were the weekend fights, and I watched it down. I was impressed with Lee Selby, obviously, and I was also impressed with Robert Easter. Those were the standout guys, because Ricky Burns versus Lee Selby was a good fight, and Adrian Granados versus Robert Easter was a good fight. I actually picked Adrian Granados to beat Robert Easter, and that shit didn't happen at all. I can tell you that for a fact. Robert Easter beat his ass. Ricky Burns, I picked Lee Selby to beat Ricky Burns because I know Lee Selby's a good boxer, and he did. He beat Ricky Burns. And Ricky Burns, I don't think he wants to hang up the gloves yet, but he may have to do that, unlike what other people are saying. I think he should go out with that loss, or you could just face somebody at a lower level and just call it a day. But that's about it for Ricky Burns, I think. You should know when to hang it up, you know what I mean? I remember talking to you guys about Burnett. He's hung up his gloves, and, Andrew Ward applauded him for that, because there's a time, you always got other things you can do after boxing. I even heard Andrew Berto talking about that. There's a life after boxing, and you got to be ready for that. Al Heyman always tells all his fighters, what are you going to do after you box? So, because boxing is a career, it's a short career. Some people make it for 20 years, 20 plus years. Very few do. It's a very brutal sport, so it's very sensible to get out of it as soon as possible. I was actually hearing a fighter say that. Was it Jamal Charlo? I think it was Jamal Charlo saying that, he's not trying to stay in the sport much longer because he's realizing how brutal it is. So he's trying to get all the big fights he can. And you can see him, he congratulated Shakur Stevenson as well. And he looking to cross the pond, go to the zone, go to ESPN, whatever he got to do to get the fights. I like what I'm hearing from Jamal Charlo, I got to be honest with you. So after he faces this dude and dusters him, because he's going to dust that kid. Y'all don't like to hear that, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm telling y'all, there's just certain fights that are mismatches in my opinion. I just let you guys know. Everybody be hyping up this dude. What's his name? I forgot what his name is. I'm fine. Jamal Charles gonna dust his ass. He gonna knock him out. I don't know how you guys can't see this. Like I said before, if you walk like a duck, if you talk like a duck, then guess what, motherfucker? It is a duck. It's what it is. And y'all just be like making excuses. Oh, you're a Jamal Charlo fan. They're gonna accuse me of being a Jamal Charlo fan next. Some bullshit. Oh, you're a Canelo fan. That's why you saying that. Yes, I'm a Canelo fan, but I'm a realist. Dennis fucking Hogan. Like, please. Like, really? Yeah, okay. So he should have beaten Munguia. All right? He should have beaten Jaime Munguia. But come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on. You're going to make the man move up another weight class. He should stay at super welter. What the fuck? Go face one of them other super welterweights. No. He gonna go up another weight class and face Jamal Charlo, a middleweight. Man known for his jab. Man, they crazy. I mean, Dennis Hogan, he can do a little bit of everything, but damn, dude, not at the level of Jamal Charlo. This guy, elite athlete. He's not no fucking Jaime Munguia. He's not. He's an experienced world champion, two-time world champion. You're not gonna survive. He gonna get you out of there before 5 rounds over. Within 5, Charlo gonna get him out of there. It's just what it is. He ain't no fucking Adams. He's not him. He gonna get stopped violently. This is not fair. This is not right. Everything about this is so wrong. And they gonna wrap it up. Oh, he gave McGill a tough guy. Yeah, but that's that super welterweight. There's a weight. Come on, man. Like seriously. Man. Making it sound like he's some test for Jamal Charles. Motherfucker, I mean, come on, man. Come on. Two-time world champion. Facing tougher competition than this guy. He faced J. Rock Williams. Dennis Hogan's a better fighter than J. Rock Williams. He stopped J. Rock Williams. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, man. It's just so whack. I don't understand. Put him in there with the smaller Charlo at least. Put him in there with the smaller Charlo. Don't put him as a mandatory. Come on, man. I be saying it over and over. It just don't make no damn sense. This fight don't make no damn sense. This is a whack fight. Jamal Charlo can't think like that, but I could. You know, Terrence Crawford be having whack fights too. Like, come on, man. Like, really? Like what? What's his name? Cavaliauskas? Like, come on, man. Now, Terrence Crawford can't think like how I'm thinking, but I mean, come on, man. We don't need to see that fight, do we? Oh, everybody likes KOs. Yeah, but I mean, come on, man. I want to see him KO somebody credible. Who the hell is Cavaliauskas, man? They just put a body in there so they could get bodied. I mean, come on, man. Then, check this shit out. Talk about whack shit. Let's talk some more whack shit here. Boo Boo. Demetrius Boo Boo Andre, right? Oh, they don't even have it. They don't even have it up yet. He's supposed to face some dude. I can't remember the guy's name. I'm like, come on, man. You know, I be like, no, come on, man. You know, I've been saying that a lot, haven't I? Like, seriously, man. That's some whack ass shit right there. These fights, boy. These mandatories. And then the mandatories that are really good mandatories, like Charlo versus Canelo and Devin Haney versus Lomachenko. Come on, man. Now they don't want that shit to happen. I'll be like, what the fuck? We got all these whack ass mandatories that you gotta see, you know. But when it comes to real good mandatories, motherfuckers duck this shit. Hate it. Is what it is. So people, I'm out of here. But that's all I got for now. If I got more, I'm gonna tell you guys. If I have to do the commentary for Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury on another place, I'll do it. Okay. Smash that like button. Don't forget you can subscribe to my channel. Don't forget you can share my videos. Don't forget you can donate to my channel via Western Union or MoneyGram. I'm gonna be out of here now, people. Peace to you guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. You guys have a good one. Peace.